Welcome everybody. We're just waiting for Jay to jump in. But for anybody who isn't joining us live, just forward this video to about the next 2 or 3 minutes and we'll get right into it. Yo, what's up?
What is going on? Shout out to Yaya in the chat. Says salute to you and the chat. We in here early. Oh, look at that. And I was logged in too. See? I log into my own stuff, man. Come on now. Pause. That was kind of weird. Who else we got in here? We'll take a little bit of time. If you're just joining us, guys, happy Juneteenth to you. If you don't want to hear the first 5 minutes of this kind of stuff, just fast forward. Just fast forward about 5 minutes and we'll get started in about 5 minutes. 5 minutes. I wish I could play music for y'all. If I was able to play music for y'all, I would. But YouTube be crazy. They'll be taking it down, copyright strikes and all that kind of stuff. I'm just learning this YouTube game. This YouTube game is new to me. So you guys know I'm a Zoom guy. I've been doing Zoom since what, 2016, 2017, something like that. Yeah. Are you going to church, bro? Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I'm just trying to dress for the occasion. We're about to get down to it.
Oh, wow. Dress for the occasion.
I'm
All
a
white for
I'm a little bit disappointed. You're in purple. It was like a happy moment.
I didn't dress for any occasion. I mean, the occasion today is Liberation Day, right?
True.
Liberation Day. All right, we're about to get started. Give me let's give them 5 minutes to jump in, and then we can get started. Well, 5 minutes to jump in, and then we can get started. And again, if you're just joining us, 5 minutes. Today's video is going to be very interesting. I wonder how many people are going to actually share this video. Funny thing, like but the truth has to be said. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's tough to say the hard, the things that are hard to say. And for us, we don't. This is not where we come from. This is not where we. This is like we don't have to risk our entire, you know, platform because we don't really have one. So we could say the truth where other people, they are afraid to say the truth for whatever reason why. God bless you. For whatever reason why, because a lot of times they can't say the truth on their platform. But you know what? I can say the truth. God's child says respect and thank you for speaking facts. Hey, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure. We got Alina, Carrie Walker. Hello to you too, and welcome to the chat today, guys. Uh, guys, we're gonna start in about, what do we have? 3:41. We're gonna start in about 1 minute and 15 seconds or so, and we're gonna really take a deep dive into this Cassie video. You've seen it enough times. I'm sure that you know exactly what this video shows. So if this video is something that you don't want to get into, um, then you might want to just like put your phone down or your computer screen down, or just go and open up another page. You can hear, but if this is triggering to you, I understand. But we're gonna break down this video without everybody telling us what the video says. In the chat, guys, please, if you guys may help me out and tell me what you've been told about this video or what you saw on this video, because it's very interesting. Like we've heard, uh, he dragged her back into the room. We've heard that he beat the crap out of her. We heard a lot of things about this disgusting video, and let's be real, it is just an absolutely disgusting video. His apology, as unsincere as many people thought it was, which to be honest, I also thought it was unsincere. And I have my reasons for thinking that it was unsincere, but as unsincere as people thought it was, that's the last time we've heard from him, right? We haven't heard him say anything about anything. since that apology. So
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, and I would love for people to point out in the chat as well. How long was the video that you actually watched, if you can remember? Because we have the full video here, and I feel like a lot of people don't know, have never seen the full video, and that's where you can actually get full context. So,
and
yeah.
for those of you guys that don't know a little bit about my knowledge about this case, I'm in the courtroom 4 to 5 days a week. Okay. I'm in the courtroom 80% of the time. All right. So I have a very unique perspective because obviously this is not on audio, this is not on video. And as I pointed out in our live earlier this week, because somebody said, "So what if you're in the courtroom?" I mean, there's a handful of us. I could probably call up maybe 100 of us that are consistently in the courtroom every single day, except for maybe you'll miss a day or so. But more or less, you're in the courtroom. There's a handful of us, maybe 100 of us. And those are the only people who are going to see the inflections, the body language of certain people, the tonality of voices, when you're crying, when you're not crying, how you sound genuine, what the objections are, what the lawyers are saying, what the judge is saying back to the lawyers, all that stuff, and understand the trial in the history of the world. Those are the only people in the history of the world that will ever see this, because it's not video recorded and it's not audio recorded. So you're never going to be able to get anything but transcripts. So people like me, Sean G, Utong Ongo, like there's a lot of us that are in here that have been really supporting me. A lot of people have supported me, just with a voice out there. So I do believe that if you're watching this stuff on certain media outlets and they haven't been in the courtroom, and then they invite all of these lawyers that are, I don't know, a commercial lawyer or an insurance lawyer or something like that, that they're not even a criminal attorney. They don't know anything about the case. They're not in here with us, and they're giving you their opinions. That's why we tore up that lawyer, both of them, yesterday. That's why we tore it. And give me a one in the chat if you want me to tear up some more of these um, lawyers. And I say lawyers as in Loyer, lawyers. Okay,
No, it's more like
or
liar,
I should say, or
liars.
liars. Yeah, LOI. There you go. I meant
But we are
LOYER.
getting some very interesting takes from the video. Um, Elena
Yes, China
said that
G.
she
Shout out to you.
probably,
Sorry, I'm just trying to. People are saying that they want me to tear up some more of these lawyers
yeah,
or
Elena said
liars.
that she saw the 10-minute video, which is the full video from different angles. Um,
Nice.
Paul, I hope I'm pronouncing their name correctly, says, I seen Cassie running out with bags and Diddy
Oh wow.
turned to kick her face.
Powell, Bunyan, let me tell you something. We're going to get into that. We are going to get into that. I cannot wait. I'm glad this audience we have today, these people who are locked in, these are the people who think for themselves. We haven't, I don't know, maybe some of us have heard in the chat. I haven't seen in the chat yet, but maybe it's been in the chat was like, this was a beating and nothing else. Let's not even talk about it. So guys, if you're a grown up in the chat, give me a one in the chat. If you're a grown up in the chat, give me a one in the chat. If you're not a grown up, if you're not a grown folk and you're not able to handle us actually breaking this down, this might be too sensitive for your little bitty ears, okay? But this today is for grown-ups who can have real grown-up conversations about what we're really seeing. This is not for the Me Too softies, okay? This is not for that. Okay, I'm not trying to say there's something bad about the Me Too movement. I'm trying to say there's something bad about victimizing yourself or weaponizing the Me Too movement. All right, this is not for y'all. So you guys can go ahead and log off right now. I don't give a damn. Or stay on and hate on me. I don't care either way. But this is for the grown-ups that could talk about real things. We're not going to pretend over here. Okay, we're not going to pretend over here. We're gonna first start because this video is gonna play over and over again. So if this is triggering, like I said, it might be a good time to not look at your screen, because I know it is triggering for some people, and that is a real thing. But we're gonna first start with playing this video. Let's put this video on the screen, please. And we're gonna analyze what's really happening in this video. I've seen this video like over 100 times now. They played it in court like maybe 35, 40 times at one time in court because they were analyzing it with the video, I think it was video forensic guy. All right. So you see the warning there. Okay. So this is what's happening. I'm gonna let the video play. You guys just watch. I'm not gonna commentate. Then we'll watch it again, and then I'll give my 2 cents on what's going on. Okay. Here's the video that we've seen in court. There's a kidnapped victim putting on lip gloss. That's all I'm gonna say. Proud of. Okay, so we can pause it there. I want to get to some of these questions in the chat. There are just a couple questions, and then we'll get to the comments afterward. All right, guys. And then we'll talk about this video. We're gonna play it again. We're gonna play it again. All right. So some of the comments in the chat. Ms. Pooh 9, like Winnie the Pooh. I need you to get Tissa and red wine. I was on with if it's the same person, if it's Simone, and she's a fair skinned girl with blondish curly hair. She's in the courtroom with me almost every day. She'd be out in the court almost every day. I was on with her at a time, and we've had a conversation. I don't have a problem with her. She actually, I've held the door for her a few times. She said I was a gentleman, and she also said I remind her of her brother. So I do know her. If it's the same lady I'm speaking about. However, our content is totally different, and our views are totally different. And I was on with her on Denat's channel, and there came a point that she just kind of said, "I don't want to have this debate anymore." And I think it was Otang Go said, "No, no, no, no. He challenged you. You need to stay here and answer his contention." Um, you guys can go look. That's actually one of the first videos on our channel, so you guys can go and look up that. I'm willing to have a conversation with her at any time, anywhere. Um, I just arrived. Yes, shout out to you, EM. Shout out to everybody. EM, Elena, Carrie Walker, China G. Shout out to you. You've been here for a long time. Instran, thank you for coming back. I appreciate that. Judon, definitely not kidnapping. I know. Yeah, she stopped to put on lip gloss, but it was kidnapping, right? All right, we good. Um,
No,
G.
that if you're trying to get out of it, if you're trying to quickly get out of a freak off, why would you stop and put shoes on?
Yeah, why? I mean, there's a staircase you could just run. I'm trying to save my logical comments, but I would love you guys' logical comments in the chat. I'm gonna save it as much as I can. I'm just gonna run the video one more time and commentate as to what is going on. I'm not gonna give much of my opinion. This is the first time was just for all of us to see. And if you're just getting in here, we played the video once, okay? So the first time is for all of us to see. The second time, I'm just going to point out a few things that stand out to me, and see if you want, you point out some stuff that stand out to you. The third time we play it, I'm going to give some of my interpretation, but you guys don't worry about it. Give your interpretation. Tell us what you're seeing, what's going on, because each time we stop this video, we're going to go through these comments in the chat and see what you guys are seeing, see what you guys are thinking, and that's really important to me, because I don't want to be just in my own world and just have whatever I think, and that and I'm not validated by what you guys are saying, or not challenged by what you guys are saying. Okay, so yes, let's continue to watch this video. Let's play it one more time, please. Let's play
Well,
it one more, or another time.
remember to like and share this video.
Yes, guys, please share this video. Yesterday, you guys were so amazing. You guys are definitely helping us to get this word out. There's so many of you guys who in the chat have been giving me love, and in the comments have been giving me love, saying stuff like, you're the only one that's breaking it down like this, or other people haven't been saying this, and stuff like that. And I really, really appreciate that. I do recognize that I do have a perspective that other people aren't giving, and it's because I don't come from the media. I come from a totally different area in life, and I don't make my money like this, so I can say whatever the hell I want, because ain't nobody gonna mess with my money, because I could say all of these things because I don't make money from this. All right, so it's a little bit of a unique perspective that people like me, or Sean G, shout out Sean G. Also, I like you guys have no, I actually have Sean G as one of my coaches in my life. And so if you came here from Sean G, thank you for coming here, and I want to shout him out as well, because he's definitely been helpful in just me. He helped me around this case. Like, before I even went to the case, I spoke to him, and he showed me the ropes on when to get there, how to get inside, and stuff like that. We met outside, and he showed me around. So shout out to Sean G. And there's not a week that goes by in this trial that he does not buy me a coffee, and that we just sit down and talk in the cafeteria. So shout out to him. All right, let's play this one more time. If you're able to put it on like 2 times speed or 3 times speed, I know that's the whole problem with that the defense had, because they said it got sped up and then it made it look worse. But let's put this, and I'll commentate. So she's coming down the hallway. Clearly, she came from around the corner in that hallway. So they had like some sort of corner unit, right? If you ever been into a hotel, you know how long those hallways can be. Here's her coming around the corner again. If you notice here, she puts the bag down, or the bags down. She opens one of the bags and she takes her shoes out. Okay, she takes her shoes out. And by the way, guys, and she puts them on. We're going to get through the text messages leading up to this date and the text messages after this date, so we could try to put together. This is an investigation right now. We're trying to figure out what the hell happened over here. What the hell happened in this video? We're not trying to have people tell us what happened. We're trying to take all the evidence and piece this together. So you see him come around the corner, running down the hall, not walking, running down the hall, and he sees her. He comes around the hall here, and she doesn't, in her testimony, she said she didn't even notice. And next thing she knew, what, bomb, throws her to the ground, okay, kicks and misses on his socks. He might have struck her a little bit, but that was really a kick and a miss, if you ask me. And I didn't even realize that, but it was pointed out by C. And then stomps on her thigh, and then drags her 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 movements. So if we, can you just rewind it? I want to just count 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi. Okay. Stomps on her leg, and then let's see, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, and then yeah, and then it cuts off for, I guess, 4, maybe 5 seconds, let's say 2 to 5 seconds, something like that. She turns around, rewind it a little bit, please. She turns around and says something to him, like, what the hell is wrong with you? It seems there's another angle that actually goes right, it gets her face, and you could kind of see her mouthing the words, like, kind of, what the hell is wrong with you? She turns around, what the hell is wrong with you? And he leaves. But he seems only concerned about the bag. And that's the question. That's why you guys saw that thumbnail that we had, right? Did she steal the bag? And he comes back around to cuss her out, but he doesn't do anything to her. This is just the pairing of the other videos. So this is not a continuation. This is kind of an overlap, but just from a different angle. She picks up whatever was left there, and she goes over to call, I guess, the security or the front desk or somebody, right? And then he comes back. He doesn't come all the way to where the phone is. He just starts cussing her out from over there, yelling from over there. He's yelling stuff from over there, then picks up the rest of the stuff, walks back to the room. Why is he more concerned about the items than he is about her? And then she's putting on lip gloss. Lip gloss. Then he takes the stuff, he cusses her out some more, and walks back to the room. There are some important questions here, guys. I'm gonna ask you guys. Please put it in the chat and have this discussion in the chat. Please, number one, tell me why he is grabbing the items. Number two, you see him, he dropped the items back, and now he's coming back. Why didn't he pull her back to the room and tell her if it was her? He comes back to cuss her out some more and get angry with her some more. But he seemed more concerned about the items. It looks like he lunged at her, but her testimony was not that. It was, hey, he went to go and sit down. You could see, guys, if you pause the video right there, pause the video, rewind it, you'll see right in the mirror. If you guys look in the mirror, because he gets out of the screen, out of the angle, but look in the mirror. What he does, he grabs the phone out of her hand. You see in the mirror, he grabs the phone out of her hand, and then he grabs the phone and he says something else to her, and he walks away with the phone. Because I know a lot of people see it and look like he's lunging at her for something, but if you look in the mirror, he grabs the phone, and then he's still cussing her out. And then he sits down, and then he's still cussing her out. And then he throws the vase or the flowers or whatever at her, misses, as she testified to, it missed her. And then he gets up and he talks some more nonsense to her, and then he walks away. What is going on? Y'all have this discussion in the chat. I'm not going to be able to read everybody's comment. I'm going to read as much as I can. And if you do want me to get back to your comment, all you got to do is copy and paste your comment into your notes and put it into the actual video. And then when we have time over the weekend and stuff, we'll get back to each and every comment. It's not like our channel's that big, so we'll have time
Now
at
I'm
this time.
seeing some people are saying in the comments, in comment
Put some
areas.
of them up on the screen so we can see.
Yeah, it kind of went up because there's so many. But QTK, she said that it doesn't look that bad now that she's seen the slow version, and I can just imagine how many people have been just watching the sped up version, which
Right.
is the version that CNN was showing to everybody
Right.
this entire time.
And only one angle. So they only show the angle of him pulling her around the corner, and everybody assumes that he's pulling her back into the room. So that's why you get this narrative of he dragged her back to the room. But if you see the other angle that we saw in court that they were forced to release afterward, you see that as soon as she gets around the corner, he lets her go. And then he walks all the way down the hall and around the corner and takes the bags. And I'm going to get to you guys in a second as to why this is very important that we notice this. This doesn't look that bad slowed down. Thank you, Q to K. Thank you for that. Let's get to a few other comments before we play this video one more time. And again, if you're just coming in here, we're just analyzing the video. All we're doing is just trying to figure out what's going on for ourselves and not let other people decide what's going on for us. So read this comment real quick for me. See, it's from Craig Tillman.
Yeah. So Craig Tillman says, "You asked me what I'm saying. I'm giving you my answer. I see a man that really didn't whoop a woman like he could have if he wanted to."
I gotta respect Craig Tillman for having the balls to say that. Um, it's very difficult because you're trying to be real. Craig is trying to be real and trying to say, I want to be impartial here and tell you guys what I'm actually seeing. But at the same time, it's hard to say that because then victims of abuse, they get triggered and say you're insensitive and there's no excuse for this behavior and all that kind of stuff. Stop making excuses for him or trying to downplay it. And this is the world we live in. That's why I said only grown people in the chat today. If you're not grown enough to have this conversation and really analyze this video, if you're not grown enough to be real and impartial about this, then this might not be the live for you. Okay. But we're trying to just be impartial here and understand what is going on here. Because the prosecution is trying to tell you it's a woman trying to escape a freak off, an S trafficking act, and being dragged back into the room. And the media is running with this. And this is crazy to me, right? SDD, C, go ahead.
Yeah. Didn't Diddy tell his attorney what happened?
Yes, we're getting to that. We have those. Yes,
They
they
did
did question
question.
her based on his participation. Do you think you know something? Diddy does it. Now, here's the thing. Nobody knows because when they questioned her, they never questioned her as to why he was upset or what fight happened in the room. They only said, "Why did you leave?" And she said, "Because we got into argument. He punched me in my head." She claims it. So I saw in one of the videos, I saw a comment there that had said, "Where's her black eye? He didn't punch her in the face." That happened in the room, according to her testimony. Okay. So do I think I know something that Diddy doesn't? No, I don't think I know something that Diddy doesn't. But nobody has questioned her as to why they argued, why they fought, what really happened in the room to prompt her to leave. The defense did not question her, and the prosecution did not question her about why she left the room. The closest thing to this questioning was um, when she left the room and she was going toward the elevator. They said, "Why were you leaving?" And she said, "Because we got into something, it got violent, he punched me in the head." That's the closest thing that we have in the testimony itself. So the rest of us, we're just trying to put this all together as to what the hell happened. And one of the things that I found interesting is the prosecution asked her, they said, when he was yelling, because you could clearly see he's yelling, and of course the jury's going to be wondering, like, what is he yelling about? What is he trying to say? What is he trying to? What's going on here? You know what she said? I don't remember what he was saying. What things was he yelling at you? I don't remember. And if you have been part of this trial, or at least following it with the transcripts, you know that I don't remember means I can't say, because it's going to break the prosecution's like, if this is like one of the most, this is one of the most crazy things in your life that's happened to you, where you're trying to escape being held captive against your will. You don't remember what the argument was about. You don't remember what was the person was cussing you out about. You don't remember any of that. I find that hard to believe. I remember the exact words my mother said to me at my worst beatings at 8 years old. Like, I remember exactly why I was getting beat. I remember all of it. Now, look, we have to take her testimony as it is. So we can't go ahead and doubt that testimony. But we can be logical thinkers. We can say to ourselves, hmm, so all of this argument and all of this, um, him sitting there and yelling at you and back and forth, Nobody can tell me what this is about. And if it was about you trying to leave a freak off, wouldn't you remember? Let's just be logical thinkers here. Wouldn't you remember if it was about you trying? Wouldn't you say, well, he was trying to get me back into the freak off if that's what it was? Wouldn't you say that? When they say, what was he saying to you at that time when he was yelling at you and throwing the vase at you and literally sat down across from you and cussing you out? What was he saying? You would say, he's telling me, get back into the freak off. How could you leave the freak off? Or he's trying to convince me to get back into the freak off. None of that was part of the testimony. So what you guys are doing, not the people in chat, the people who are the haters in the chat, you're just taking what you heard from all the other media outlets and you're trying to talk about it here. You're better off served to ask questions. Ask questions from somebody who's been in the courtroom. Say, what was their testimony about that? She took his clothes. Anika Bennett says, we're going to get to that because that has been a claim. Cutie K says, it looked like money fell out the bag and she put it back in. I want more of this. Guys, please tell me what you guys are seeing. Because you know that first kick that I said he kicked and he missed, I think he kind of still skinned her a little bit, but he's in his socks, obviously. But I think he kind of skinned her a little bit. But I thought that he kicked her and it was actually C that pointed out, what do you mean? He missed that kick. And I had to look at the video again. So you guys are gonna help me to see more than I have seen on my own. And that's why I wanted to do this live instead of just doing a pre-recorded video where I can't be challenged or anything like that. All right. Who else we got? We got Crystal Sutton. Give me a second. Yes, we do. I think she grabbed the drugs. I always felt there was more to this story. I don't condone the DV. I don't either. Guys, I'll just tell you this, okay? And maybe you guys can clip this if you want, or you can write this down. Nobody is above an ass whooping. Nobody. Nobody is above an ass whooping, unless you're a child, of course, or a senior citizen. But nobody, no adult between 18 and let's say 59 is above an ass whooping. But if you're on this chat right now and if you're watching this video right now, you shouldn't be the one to do it. Just because somebody deserves an ass whooping doesn't mean that you should be doing that. You have way more other important things to do and to think about. DV, it's such a shame on the person that's doing it. Even if the person deserves to be punched in the face, you shouldn't be the one to do it. Let a degenerate punch them in the face. Let somebody else that doesn't have a family, children looking up to them, opportunities in front of them, a job, reputation, all those other things. Do you know how many times people have dared me, hit me, hit me, hit me? And I say, you're not worth it. You're just not worth it. Why am I going to do that? For what? Because I have way more to lose than you. And I'm assuming if you're one of the people who are free thinkers and thought leaders on this page that have been following this page because you want to know the facts and the truth, you also are a person that has something to lose. So just because somebody deserves some sort of ass whooping, just to check them, somebody deserves to be checked, doesn't mean that you got to be the one to check them. Because that's not worth it for you. And so I support Crystal Sutton's statement, which is I don't condone DV, because neither do I. I don't condone that stuff. The fact of the matter is nobody's above it. Everybody might deserve it at one point or time in their life, but we shouldn't be the ones to do it. Let the other people do it. Let when they go and violate a person on the road do it. Let a crackhead do it. Let somebody else put them in their place. We are free and thought leaders. We aren't the ones that put them in their place. There's regulators for that. SDD says, if there's something to question Cassie about regarding her escape, Diddy would have told them. Diddy hasn't been on the stand yet, SDD. Diddy would have told who? Any lawyer would have advised you to keep your mouth shut. Like, that's not how the court of law works. We haven't heard from Diddy since the apology video in 2023, I believe, when that video came out, when the assault video came out. I don't know where you're getting your information from, but I encourage you to follow this channel so you can be a little bit more educated. That's not how this stuff works. You speak through your lawyer, which we're about to go through. You speak through your lawyer. You don't just start making statements all over the place. I don't know how you think this works. Your lawyer tells you shut the F up. And if there's any narrative or anything to put in place, I got you. And we have the lawyer statements later in this live that we're going to show the lawyer statements. We're getting there. But that whole, oh gosh, we got thunder here. But that whole oh well, I can clear all this up. No. Shut up. Diddy has not been on the stand. The defense hasn't even put anybody on the stand yet because we're still in the prosecution's case. We don't have the defense's case until probably next week because today's Juneteenth, no court. Yesterday was Wednesday, and one of the jurors were sick, so we had no court. So we have two more witnesses, and that's going to take up all of Friday, maybe even into Monday, and then the defense can put their case on. And it's likely that they're not going to put Diddy on the stand, but we're not there yet, SDD. Okay. Um, did you see the video where Cassandra can you go back to that one? I'm gonna read this one, but just pull that up that oh yeah, thank you. Did you see the video where Cassandra threatened to unalive an escort? It wasn't a video, it was a audio that was recorded in the courtroom, and I did hear it. And she did do that. Yes, absolutely, she did do that. She's a feisty one. She's a feisty one. Even in that video that you guys just saw, she clearly like turned around and tried to be like, what are you doing and what's wrong with you type thing. Raven fan 22 says, did you oh no, next one, sorry.
What I wanted to point out though is that the whole thing with the video is what was, well, not the video, the voice note. If you see the email that she sent to her mother, the somebody who commented in the comment section said that the words used in the email were the same kind of words that she said in the voice note, and there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, I mean, we have the video that she's sent to her mother. If you could read,
Screenshot.
yeah, we have the screenshot of that email. Sorry. Yeah, if you could pull that up, not now, but just eventually. Raven fan 20 Sean Stone. Here's what happened. He was in the shower and she took his phone. I believe the argument about her getting mad about him talking to somebody. Okay, so hey, Sean Stallings, you're onto something. We're gonna get there. So let's just watch the video one more time, and then I'm gonna make some interpretations, and then we'll get into exactly what Sean Stallings is talking about, because this stuff is important. We got to think for ourselves. We can't let people tell us what to think. So you see her walking down with a bag. Bag is clearly heavy. She's leaning to the side a little bit. She walking down with a bag. No shoes. So she was out of there fast. That's my interpretation. Now, I didn't see. Did she push it? Now she pushed the elevator button. So she was out of there in a hurry because she couldn't wait to get out of there. She put her shoes on and she forgot to push the elevator button. Now you'll see Puff come running out, socks and a towel. First thing is pause, please, please pause. Rewind it just a little bit. I'm sorry for you guys to have to see that again. If that's, I just want you guys to pay attention to the top left of your screen. Okay, it's 11:11:02, which 02 is the seconds. Okay, I want you to pay attention to the seconds. Okay, in about 03, he's about to grab her. 03, he's about to grab her. That's the thunder over here in New York. Okay, 04, he grabs, throws her down. By 04, stop. 6 seconds into his confrontation with her, the first thing he does is grab the bags, the stuff there. If it was really, let me put my video back on. I'm gonna actually, this is getting too dark because there's gonna be thunder, so you guys are gonna have to see my apartment in a second. But if he really wanted her back into a freak off that she was trying to escape, why is his whole entire back? She could have just ran. She could have just got up and ran away. Now, I'm not saying she should have, or I'm not blaming her. I'm trying to say for him, if he felt like this freak off thing was what he wanted her to get back into, he would not be turning his attention to the bags and that kind of stuff. Why is he so concerned about the bags? Why is he concerned about that stuff and leaving her to the side within 4-6 seconds, 4 to 6 seconds after throwing her to the ground? He grabs that stuff. Please play another 2 to 3 seconds. Stop. He stomps her side of her leg. Poor girl. She grabs her side of her leg because clearly it hurt. Okay. And just for you guys that don't know how the prosecution sounds because you're just reading the transcript, this is exactly how they break it down in the in the court. And if I'm the prosecution, this lady is, her voice is so annoying. Like sometimes I just have to leave the room just for like 10 seconds just to stand this white lady's voice. All right. It's a six pack of white women. If you guys don't know who the prosecutors are, 6 white women are the prosecutors. No, nobody else. Just only 6 white women are the prosecutors. All right. And no diss to white women, but white women oftentimes have a voice. They have a particular voice. We know the voice. And I'm going to give you the voice in a second. It goes like this. Miss Gavin, can you go back to can you rewind 3 seconds, please, Miss Gavin? No, rewind 3 seconds, see? Okay, and okay, stop right there, Miss Gavin. Thank you so much, Miss Gavin. And they're talking to the person who's on stand talking about the video. And as to your understanding of what is going on in the video right now, what does the male seem to be doing in the video? What does the male seem to be doing in the video? Oh, well, the male seems to be upset and stomping and whatever. Okay, and can we just play 3 seconds, please, Miss Gavin? See, please play through. And stop, please. To show you what's outside right now. Um,
Yeah, guys, it seemed like he got a little bit disconnected. He said the rain is crazy. He's just gonna jump back in though.
All right, we back.
Yep, you're back.
All right, perfect, guys. I'm not playing with y'all. The rain out here is absolutely nuts. Let me show you guys. Let me just see if
It's
I
the
can.
prosecution, Jay. The prosecution's interfering. Can't hear you.
Can you guys hear me?
Can hear you now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this. You guys see that? Rain is going crazy out here. I had to disconnect from my Wi-Fi and go on my data. All right. So that's exactly how they were doing it. Miss Gavin, I'm just gonna ask you, and can you rewind it one more time? So guys, let me get into some of these comments here, and then we could play the rest of it. All right. Throw some comments on the screen, but if I see some to holler at, I'm a holler at some that I have here. Her bag with her shoes in it. Jay, was the audio with Cassie heard in court? Yes, it was. That was heard in court. We got Andre Nelson. That was one thing people aren't talking about is if he's found guilty of the RICO, they're going to take all of this money, and everybody testifying against him is going to get money out of a victims fund. That is, I don't know. I really don't know. I haven't done enough research on that, but I have heard people talking about that. So I can't comment on that. I mean, one thing I do know about people seizing, sorry, the government seizing money and stuff like that is that that money has to be proven to be made illegally, and none of these RICO charges have any ties to making illegal money, right? The RICO charges are ties to their main goal is to make him happy, but not to making money. So they would have to apply for that, and they would have to fight for that. As to my understanding. What else we got here? He must have been in the shower while she was getting dressed. JL, that's a very, very great point. I want to shout you out, JL. That actually was said in the courtroom by Cassie. So Cassie actually said in the courtroom that either he was in the shower or he was on the phone, and that's when she left. He was either in the shower or on the phone, and that's why she left. Raven, Juju, Ravens fans 22. Jules will solve the entire mystery about this. Hey, Jules was not on the prosecution's witness list. So Ravens fan 22 makes a very, very good point. And that's what I was saying to you guys on the last live that I did, is that why didn't Jules testify for the prosecution and tell the prosecution straight up, hey, she was trying to leave a freak off and he dragged her back in, or he was like, she's trying to leave, I'm dragging her back here. Oh, I'm going to go and get her. Why didn't he testify for the prosecution? To me, he's going to testify for the defense and say either he's going to solve the problem, as Ravens fans is saying, and that's what I was saying. He's going to solve that to say, no, 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 no. This whole video was her stealing his clothes, or her taking his phone, or her doing this, that, or whatever, and him going to get back his stuff. That's why, to me, Jules never was on for the prosecution, because the prosecution knew for the entire time. And that's why I tell you guys, if this is a mistrial, or this is a hung jury, this video is not going to be in the next case. It will not be in the next case. And it can't be. And why can't it be? Because they finessed their way. The prosecution finessed their way into getting this video in. The prosecution finessed their way into getting this video in because they told everybody that this video was her leaving a freak off. But if Jules comes on, and as you can see clearly, this is not no S trafficking or kidnapping. This, as we went through this video in the beginning, if you're just getting in here, go and rewind to the beginning. Clearly, this is a domestic violence dispute. This is a domestic dispute, and the prosecution tried to finesse this video in there. The next time, they're not going to be able to do it. Cassie's testimony was not, oh, he was trying to drag me into the hotel. Cassie's testimony was not, oh, I was trying to escape. Cassie's testimony was nothing like that. Cassie's testimony was, we got into an argument, it got physical, he punched me in the head, so I left. That was Cassie's testimony. All right. So that's it. I got a message from our team saying I got to come back on camera. I am, guys. I'm just trying to set up. I'm trying to reset up in my living room, because obviously by the window of my office was all messed up. Ray says her demeanor is so calm, and the way she calmly puts on the lip gloss. Exactly. What kidnap victim puts on lip gloss? What S trafficking victim stops to take the lip gloss out and put it on? Guys, stop playing with us in New York. This is a New York jury. This is not like I said, grown people in this chat only, please. Grown people on this video only, please. People who can actually look at this and say, yes, we could clearly see what's going on here, and not people who are getting all touchy about nonsense. G says it was a toxic relationship. That is correct. It was a toxic relationship with two druggies, with two addicts that are going and doing drugs for days at a time, sometimes 12 hours, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 36 hours, sometimes 48 hours, doing drugs for days at a time, and then getting upset with each other for cheating on each other. All right. There's a lot here. There's a lot here. Now, as I set up, C, can you please play the video one more time? And for those of you guys who are just getting into the chat, I'm not going to commentate the video. I'm not going to give you my own opinion. Please just tell me what you see. Give me your opinion. Tell me that I'm stupid or I'm crazy or I'm onto something. Tell me something, any of the above. Tell me something. Let's put this on. We got one more time playing this part, and let's put it on and see. And see, as people are commenting on the chat, put this on the screen for me so I can see later on. And I'm not going to tell you guys my opinion. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you guys my opinion. But we got E-Rock. I'm against hitting women. But if Diddy did that to a man, no one cares. Hey, double standard, E-Rock. I don't disagree with you. I agree with wholeheartedly. I'm against hitting. I've never hit a woman in my life, and I wouldn't. I would never. Like I said earlier in this live, not everybody is above an ass whooping. Nobody's above an ass whooping. But I'm not going to be the one to do it. I'm not going to be the one to do it. Let somebody else do it. Anika Bennett said, if the changes don't fit, they must acquit. If the charges, sorry, I think meant to put they must acquit, and the charges don't fit. We right. Alina Carrie Walker says, wasn't Gina in the picture at the time? Yes, sir. Yes, it was. It would not surprise me if she started questioning him about it, and he got. And could you pause the video, please, and put me on the screen? Um, that is exactly correct. That is exactly correct. There I am. Okay, perfect. Sorry, you guys were seeing my other chair over there. You guys can see me now. All right. So that's absolutely correct. That's what they were arguing about. Gina was in the photo in the picture. Puff was he had a photo that was on Instagram or one of the social media networks or platforms, I should say, and it was him and Gina. And what happened is Cassie, and this is all testimony. This is not my own stuff. You can look up this transcripts yourself. Cassie got upset and blocked Puff and his whole team. At this time, Cassie was in South Africa. Cassie was in South Africa, and she was filming Honey 3 with Michael B. Jordan. Okay. She blocked Puff and his whole team because she got mad that he was still talking to Gina. For those of you guys who don't know who Gina is, go look her up. New York is crazy because now it's sunny outside. For those of you guys who don't know who Gina is, go look her up. But basically, Puff said to Cassie, I'm done talking with Gina, whatever. And she saw Puff and Gina on social media. So she blocked Puff and his entire team and started banging Michael B. Jordan. How do I know? Because Deontay Nash testified to him hooking them up and saying, yeah, I put them together. And Deontay Nash is one of her best friends, and he was also her stylist. He said, yeah, I put them together. Two good-looking people. They needed to be together or whatever. So she started effing Michael B. Jordan. This, if you guys want to go and put the timeline together, when she was in South Africa filming Honey 3, when she came back from filming Honey 3, okay? When she came back from filming Honey 3, look at the dates. When the movie premiere of Honey 3 was about to launch, that was the day before. This day, that date that you guys seen in the InterContinental, I think it was March the 6th. That date was literally the day before the movie premiere. We're going to get into the text messages in a second. Okay. That was the date before the movie premiere. Okay. The next day she had the movie premiere for Honey 3. So there's arguments about her blocking Puff and saying, you were with Gina, and then Puff turning around and telling her, oh, well, I was with Gina, you're getting mad and you're blocking me, but you were effing Michael B. Jordan. And remember, Michael B. Jordan wasn't the Michael B. Jordan we know now. This is Michael B. Jordan of 9 years ago. This is, I think, still between before Fruitvale Station. That's one of the things that got him, claim to fame. But this is not the same Michael B. Jordan. So also Puff is also saying like that guy, really? That guy? So she's messing with Michael B. Jordan, blocks Puff while she's in South Africa because he's with Gina, comes back, Puff finds out you've been effing Michael B. Jordan. She takes his phone, you've been effing Gina, so on and so forth. This is a toxic relationship, as in the chat, G said. This is a toxic argument. This is a toxic relationship. And the government is trying to twist this into S trafficking. It's not logical to think Diddy didn't tell his attorneys relevant things. Yes, exactly. I tell my attorneys relevant things. So it's not logical to think that Diddy's not also doing the same thing. And so, guys, Miss Winnie the Pooh 9. I wish somebody would try to make me feel like I'm victim shaming. Please, I'm calling it how I see it. Sorry, I don't see victims. I see gold diggers. And here's the thing, guys. There are people on the jury that think exactly like Miss can you put that name up again? And I only say Miss Winnie the Pooh because I don't want people to think I'm talking about bowel movement. Miss Pooh, Pooh 9. Okay. um it's absolutely true. There are people on the jury that think like that. Okay, this is a New York jury, guys. This is a New York jury. Remember, this is not a jury in Santa Barbara. This is not a jury in Connecticut even. This is a New York City jury. Okay. Let's finish up this video. Please, guys, give me your comments in the video. And if I'm cooking, and I apologize for, and you guys, it's crazy that now the sun's out, but I apologize that we got cut off there. But if I'm cooking, share this with somebody. Let's get through the rest of this little piece of video. Stop right there, please. Don't even play anymore. Do you see her turn around? If you see on the top, if you look at Puff's arm, he's carrying a bag. On the opposite arm, it's crossed over his towel. Above that is his left shoulder. You'll see a camera right there. Above, at the top of your screen, you'll see a camera more towards the right. I saw the camera angle, and see if you could find that camera angle. I saw that camera angle in court, and she's cussing him out. She's saying, what the hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? You could see that they're talking to each other. In the mainstream media, they didn't play this angle. They played the angle as if he was dragging her back into a freak off, being like, girl, what are you doing? It's all manipulation. Being like, what are you doing? Where are you going? You're coming back into this freak off. But what really is going on is a domestic dispute of cheating and jealousy and drugs and alcohol and all this kind of stuff. And if you've ever been in a messy relationship like this has happened to you too. This type of thing, maybe not this exact thing with domestic violence, but this type of arguing and stuff has happened to you too. Grab the bag, give me that bag back. Where you going? This kind of stuff. This is not normal, but it's normal for a toxic relationship. Look how far he is from her. That's kidnapping, because that's what they're trying to tell you. He's more concerned about the bag. Why is he so concerned about the bag? And then he comes back and grabs the phone. Why is he so concerned about the phone? And again, you guys can look up this angle if you want, where she's cussing him out, but she's looking at him being like, what is wrong with you? What are you doing? And the reason why I have this in my head is not only because I saw that the other angle, the reverse angle to this, it's also because of the text messages that she sent him afterward. She sent him, we're going to get into those text messages. She says stuff like, when you're, sorry, go ahead. You want to speak, C?
Yeah, I can't find the angle where you see her face when she turns around and looks at him, and she's talking smack. But you can see just above Diddy's head the camera, so you know that it exists, and we've seen it
Yes.
before.
Yes. And let's pause it here, but can you put up the text message I'm talking about, just for those people who can't stay all that long, because it is Juneteenth and we're getting to dinner time. Not this one. Not this one. Right here. This is the text message that she said. when you get effed up, this is 5 days afterward, and they had text messages in between, but we couldn't see those text messages in between because conveniently the prosecution didn't pull those text messages from their phones. So we had 5 straight days of no text messages in between the both of us, although we know from other evidence there was text messages in between, but the prosecution did not pull those from the phone because obviously it wouldn't help their case. So these are the only text messages we have. This was 5 days later. She goes, when you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. That go back to the part of that video. Does that not stop? Rewind a little bit. Almost there. Right there. Yep. Almost. No, back. Yep, right there. A little bit more when she looks at him. Right there. Doesn't that look exactly like what she was trying to say to him? The hell is wrong with you? What are you doing? I'm not a rag doll. I'm somebody's child. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always try to make it like you're trying to show me that you're the boss. I'm not a rag doll. I'm somebody's child. That is the same attitude, in my opinion, when I'm looking at this, as to her looking at him like, what is wrong with you, bro? Why are you putting hands on me like that? Why are you dragging me around like that? Why are you throwing me to the ground like that? What's wrong with you, bro? But this doesn't look like, oh, you're dragging me back into a freak off so I could be your S slave. That's not what this looks like. She's looking at him like, what the hell is wrong with you? Play just like a half a second more, and you'll see her turn her head even more. You see that? She turns her head. Look, she turns her head even more like, the hell's wrong with you? And he's looking at her, cussing her out, being like, B, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, what the hell are you talking about? What's wrong with you? What are you doing? Liz R says she is terrified of her abuser. If you don't know about abuse, best to say nothing at all. First of all, Liz R, if you don't know about me, best to say nothing at all. Because you don't know what I know about abuse. You don't know what I've been through in my life. You have no idea, Liz R. You don't know anything about me. So it's best that you don't say anything at all. It's that's the best thing for you to do is keep your mouth shut. Liz R. You don't know what I survived. You don't know what I've been through. You don't know what I ran away from. And if anybody's on here that knows me, they know what I left, what I had to get out of at a young age. Shut your mouth. Khadija says, and I love the name Khadija, that was two crackheads fighting. You're absolutely right. That was two crackheads fighting. It was two druggies going at, and they did it all the time. In in the testimony, it was said that they would do daily drugs. They actually called themselves high partners. Okay. Kabir Sharif says, I encourage you to look into the side effects of, I think you meant ketamine. The drug, his drug use is absolutely relevant to his behavior. So when his attorney claimed that it wasn't far-fetched, so we're going to get to that whole drug thing in a second. Right. And for the rest of you guys, I'm sorry if I don't get triggered by this stuff. I get triggered by idiots. I get triggered by jackasses. I get triggered by people who don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't know anything about me. I get triggered by people like that. But that's not neither here nor there. Let's keep going. About Liz R, Lisa R, whatever your name is. Diddy is the best witness in his own case. Well, yeah, I think he would be the best witness in his own case, but I also think, and shout out to Controversial News, by the way, always showing a lot of love over here. And around the courtroom, we've had controversial news on the channel as well. And y'all go check out controversial news. Always been showing a lot of love over here, 100%. But I don't know. I don't know if he needs to be a witness in his own case. Remember, the prosecution, they originally said that there was going to be a certain amount of weeks that they needed their witnesses for, and the original amount of weeks was a lot more than they just said 3 days ago. 3 days ago, they said we just need 1 week, but before they were saying 3 weeks. So I think they were prepping for Puff to take the stand, but I think they've realized what most of us that are calling it down the middle and know what we're talking about are realizing is he don't need to take the stand. He doesn't have to, because they haven't proven anything. But if you're not in abuse, then you don't understand. Oh my gosh. Queen Puffy effed up in the head. That like beating on pretty females, but scared to fight a man. Hey, Carlos, go and look up the stories of what his challenges to men. He attacked many men actually. So I know everybody likes to say that a guy that beats a female doesn't beat a man, but there's men that beat both. I'll tell you that. I know pimps in real life. I know pimps in real life. They've beat up men and they beat up women. Just because you beat up a woman don't mean that you don't beat up men. Some people beat up everybody. Go and watch Casino. Let's keep it moving. You all are just going to keep making excuses for this despicable man. I don't make excuses. What excuse did I make? I'm not even going to read the rest. What TFEVA? Tell me an excuse I made. I'm not even going to continue, because this is why I cut people off when they talk to me, because you guys start your whole entire point and you anchor your point to a fallacy. Tell me the excuse I made, and then we could talk from there. If you're gonna write it in the chat, tell me the excuse I made. We'll talk from there. Sean Stallings, the defense have been so good at poking holes in the prosecution. They don't need to present a case, in my opinion. They don't need to. They will, because Diddy's legal team is Diddy's legal team. They're amazing. But you're right. At this point, nothing has been proven beyond a reasonable doubt. And if you're paying attention to this, you will understand. But if you're like some of these other people that just keep spewing nonsense over here, and I'll go back and forth with you guys as long as my computer has life. All right, I got stuff to do tonight. It's Juneteenth, and I gotta go and watch the Thunder win the championship with my boys. All right. What else we got here? Judon says, I'm not concerned about that, about what was in the bag or what triggered Diddy, because she clearly had the opportunity to leave if she was trying to escape. If she was trying to escape a freak off, if she was trying to escape a sex act, shouldn't say sex act on YouTube, but I said it, whatever. Yes, you're absolutely right. Now, let's get into what Diddy's legal team tries to say. This is what they tried to say before all of this stuff, okay? Uh, to before this, yes. So the defense's position is very simple. The video is manipulated to conceal timeline context. Now, that was actually disproven in court. And I'll tell you why it was disproven in court, because they brought a forensic video analyst that actually took this video and showed why the video was shown so quickly and fast. I believe that guy. He said basically was a glitch when you take the video from the original source and then you upload it to another source. It gets sped up and it kind of gets skipped around a little bit. And he explained exactly how that works. And his explanation seemed pretty credible to me. So I believe it wasn't purposely sped up. However, the defense's position was it was purposely sped up. But their position was that before they even spoke to this video analysis. He was a forensic video analyst, I should say. He was a forensic video analyst, and he's the one that explained why it looked so quick, so fast. Okay, it did make him look more violent, and somebody did mention earlier when they seen the video at the normal speed, which should have been, it doesn't look as bad. So the point is correct that it made him look more violent, but the point is incorrect, in my opinion, that it was actually sped up. I don't believe it was sped up on purpose. I believe it was just, it was sped up. That's it. It for whatever reason it was sped up. But they asked him, was it a human that actually did this on purpose that sped it up? In your opinion, he said no. This is just a glitch. This happens all the time. But it says when he was supposedly retrieving his belongings, towel, phone, clothes. So this has always been the defense's, this has always been what they said. So with this in mind, let's play. I don't want to play the whole video, but let's just play the part where he runs down the hallway. I want you guys to look at this one more time because we're breaking down this video. Look at it one more time. When he's coming down the hallway, with this in mind, that he was trying to retrieve his clothes and his phone. Because the prosecution going to tell you he was trying to retrieve her, and defense is telling you he's trying to retrieve his phone and his clothes. So you, with a logical mind, tell me, Lisa R., tell me who is right. Is he trying to retrieve her, or is he trying to retrieve his phone and his clothes? Can we get that video up on the screen, please? No more delays. Even if you have to change the speed in front of us or rewind. Yes. Okay, right here. Right. Yep. Right there. Now, you guys in the chat, just tell me clothes or her. Tell me phone or her. Just without bias, please. No bias. Because the prosecution is saying he's retrieving her for freak off and S trafficking. Grabs her, throws her to the ground, misses the kick, might have hit her, but barely, if he did, and then takes the clothes, stomps her, says, B, where are you going? What you doing? Turns around the corner, drops her, talks nonsense. She turns around. What is wrong with you? He turns around, F you, walks away from her. Both of their backs are to each other. Go rewind that real quick. Both, wait, not yet. Turns her back to her. She turns her back to him. Both backs towards each other. Who's telling the truth, the prosecution or the defense? He wanted his clothes. He wanted what was in that bag. He's not looking at her. She's not looking at him. She's not afraid. She's not running away. It's very difficult for a juror to look at this video and pause it right here and say that she was kidnapped. It's very difficult for a juror to look at this video right here and pause it right here and say that she was S-trafficked. His whole back is towards her, and it looks clearly like all he wanted was the bag. So what's in the bag? According to the defense, what's in the bag is his clothes. I don't know what's true. I wasn't there. And we don't even have enough evidence here in the trial. And I've been in the trial 4 or 5 days a week. I've been hearing all the testimony. I've been taking all the notes. I'm already on my third notebook of taking notes. I've been in trial every day. I'm taking all the notes. What happened here is not clear to any of us. I'm not claiming to know what happened. And I know I get hyped sometimes, but that's only because I'm passionate about just understanding the truth and that kind of stuff. So if I offended anybody on here, I do apologize. I'm not sorry, but I do apologize. There's a difference, so look it up. But I do apologize for sure. I'm just trying to say, guys, there's something here that we're not all understanding. And for us to say what's going on, is the prosecution telling the truth that this video is her trying to leave a freak off and him dragging her back into the room, which is what you heard in the media over and over and over again, or when we break down this video, is it what the defense is saying, which is she took his clothes. That's why he came out in a towel, and he grabbed his clothes and walked back to the room. Which one is it? Or is it somewhere in the middle? Let's see what you guys have in the chat. Um, sorry, our team is just messaging me. Yes. Thank you. Our team actually just asked me, and I'm gonna read your comment in a second. Rara Alexander, I'm gonna read your comment in a second. Our team did tell me to shout out our video that we released this morning at 3 a.m. That video is about kidnapping, and it does talk about this particular video. And then we have the video that we are releasing tomorrow at 3 a.m., which is the drug trafficking video. So that's the drug trafficking video. We're breaking down all the predicate acts of RICO just so we can go through each one of them. All right. Rara Alexander says, "Hey Jay, I am loving your channel because I thought Cassie was upset because Diddy never made her the main girl. She was laying these crumbs for security." Okay, so just Rara Alexander, just to tell you, you're not crazy. I don't all the way agree with you, to be honest with you. I don't all the way agree with you, but I do say I do want to say you're not crazy because she actually said that in the testimony. She said she wanted to be the main thing. She said she was jealous of Kim Porter. She even had a text message that she sent to Diddy after Kim Porter already passed away. After Kim Porter already passed away, where at Kim Porter's memorial, which Cassie also attended in Atlanta, um, Puff said, "This was my soulmate. I lost my soulmate." And Cassie didn't waste one day, not even 2 days, to text Puff saying, "Your soulmate, huh? So what was that 11 years of us together for?" So, rah rah, you're not crazy. I don't all the way agree with you, but you having that feeling, you're not crazy. And we have to keep thinking this is a New York jury. How many jurors are going to think that way? All right. Million C says Cassie is a victim of DV. Yes, absolutely she is. Um, and that's it. That's all. I agree with you almost all the way. I do agree she's a victim of DV. But I don't agree that's all. She's a victim of manipulation. She's a victim of power dynamic. She's a victim of grooming. She's a victim, but those things aren't against the law. Those are just a bonehead guy doing bonehead things. Those that's a guy abusing his power. And if you want to think about it this way, where I had a conversation with one of my friends who is older and wiser than me, he said, "Then what is the point of getting rich if it's not to use your money so you can get power?" Actually, Puff has a song called "Money, Power, Respect" with Lil Kim, Black Rob, all the rest of them that don't like him now. And that's first you get the money, then you get the mother effing power, and after you get the power, mother effers will respect you, right? So he's living exactly what he's talking. All right. And there is a lot of people out there that understand then what the hell is the point of getting all this money for if I can't use it to make to flex my power and flex my respect and live the exact life that I want. So I do agree with you. Cassie is a victim of more than that, but none of those things are illegal. Only DV is illegal. Okay. Kabir Sharif, his drug addiction can absolutely be the cause of some of his violent behavior. Okay, can you please put up, and just to support what you're saying, Kabir Sharif, can you please put up the opening statements by Tenny Garagos? I think she's the one that did the opening statements. Put up the opening statements. That's next one after this. Yep, right here. He got IVs, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Tenny Garagos, in opening statements, says, "Unfortunately, jealousy was on full display, and in combination with the bad drugs that I expect Cassie to testify that Combs took, it led to domestic violence in the elevator bank. The assault happened almost 10 years ago." Can you guys take a screenshot of that? I want to go while you guys are taking a screenshot of this, and I provide you guys with facts. Take a screenshot of this so you don't. So this weekend in Juneteenth and the long weekend, you have this to argue with. Okay, I'm gonna go and grab my notes, and I'm gonna read that text message that Tenny Garagos is referring to. And these are the notes straight from the court. All right. Okay. Cassie testified to this. These are the notes straight from the court. And this is exactly the text message that she sent, close to it. I wrote it down as fast as I can. I might have missed a word or so, but this is what it said. Okay. Cassie says, I still have crazy bruising from Friday. This is 5 days after that incident. You guys want to go and look at the date of the incident in this video? It was a Friday. Cassie says, and this is 5 days later. Cassie says, I still have crazy bruising from Friday. She goes, how do I know you won't have a bad batch of drugs again or won't drink too much? When you get effed up, you want to show me who is in charge and treat me like I'm a rag doll. I'm somebody's daughter. These are the notes from the courts, guys. These are the notes from the courts, guys. Right? See, wait, right here. A bad batch of drugs or won't drink too much, whatever. I know it's blurry a little bit, but you guys got it. These are the notes from the courts. So if you go back to the defense's opening statements, the last gentleman that, or maybe it was a lady that put things on. Can you put that comment back on the screen, please? I think this is the same person that talked about the effects of ketamine and what that does. His drug addiction can absolutely be the cause of some of his violent behavior, and that's what the defense is talking about with this video. Unfortunately, jealousy was on full display, and they're talking about that night, and in combination with the bad drugs that I expect Cassie to testify that Combs took, it led to domestic violence in the elevator bank. This assault happened almost 10 years ago. So we gotta treat this for what it is. We can't just be finicky. Oh, oh, domestic violence. Oh, no. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under the jail. I saw the video. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under the jail. I saw the video. What a piece of crap. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under the jail. Throw him under the jail. Then what does that mean for you and the people that you love? Because there's people I love that have been contributors of domestic violence. There's people I love that have committed domestic violence. And there's people I love that have been victims of domestic violence. And those two people are still together in multiple situations. And those two people love each other even now. And if you asked the one person, let's say the woman, who committed domestic violence against the other person, let's say the man, right? They're not going to say put him under the jail. You guys see a video of him dragging a woman to the ground, missing the first kick or maybe slightly hitting her, stomping on her leg, and then dragging her for about 3 seconds, and you freak the hell out. I'm not saying that this is acceptable. I'm not saying that this is not horrible, demonstrous behavior. I'm not saying that this is something that we should say, oh, who cares? This is nothing, because this is something. And if in order for us to move along in a society, we have to condemn this type of behavior. I'm saying that we can't use that to freak the hell out. We can't use that to say, I want to find any way and any reason for this guy to go down because I don't like the video. And we can't use this to say, screw the video. Who cares? What was really happening? This is what I believe. because it's dangerous, because the precedent you are setting is going to affect you and your loved ones and your future children and your children that you have now and your nieces and your nephews and your little cousins. And it's going to affect all of them, because that's the world we're putting people in. That if you do something that doesn't really deserve you being put under the jail, if they want to get you, they can twist anything to make this square peg fit in a round circle, and you can too be under the jail, because what they want to do, they want to get you. This is the precedent you're setting. You don't care about everybody else. You just care about your feelings in the moment. You're not thinking about the future. You're not thinking about society, the future of this society. You're not thinking about anything. All you're thinking about your feelings, and you don't even know any of these people. You don't know Cassie. You don't know Puff. You don't know any of these people. But you're freaking out, put him under the jail because you're triggered. T. Rials or Rial says, I think Cassie's husband convinced her to get videos, and that was the assignment that she was on the day of that being. Who knows? One thing I do know is that they lived together in her mother's house with two children. I'm assuming in the basement, because where else? I mean, it's even more awkward if they conceived that third child that she just had in the room next to the mother. But hey, they were all living in the mother's house with the two children, and the husband. They were living in her mother's house when she filed the lawsuit. And before she filed the lawsuit, she wrote a tell-all book, um, and said to Puff, I want $30 million, and you can have the rights to this book, or else the book is going out. So I don't know if they're pillow talking and say, look, this sucks being in your mom's house. And, you know, Puff did all these things to you. He beat you. You know, all this kind of stuff. And you deserve money from that. And somebody the other day said, oh, but why do you think Puff paid in 24 hours? I think he paid in 24 hours because he knew he did that girl foul. I think he knew he was a foul guy, a foul dude to that girl. And he knew that this could also mess up his reputation. So he's like, you know what? You do definitely deserve it. And the reason why I think that is because they were communicating through text even after they broke up. They had S at least twice after they broke up. At least twice. They had S. She brought him to one of her friend's birthday party while she was dating the guy that she's married to right now. While she was in a full-fledged relationship with the guy that she's married to right now, she brought Puff to one of her friend's birthday party as a date. And then they had S that night. This is her testimony. Okay. Um, so to me, and then after that, they tried to make time to meet up again and talk again, but it just never worked out. So to me, I think he still loved her, and he still kind of said, you know what? I did really bad things to you. And so, you know what? Here, take 20 million. Because she asked for 30, she got 20. So he's like, take 20 million. Sherry Ashley says, Jay, please send your notes to Diddy's attorney. You're doing a great job. I tried, guys. I got a little bit nervous. I ain't gonna lie. You guys can look at the shorts on my channel. I did meet Diddy's attorney. I turned like all of them. Um, I spoke to them. I was a little bit nervous to try to plug kind of the stuff that like my knowledge, and I was kind of starstruck because I understand that they're doing an amazing job. If you're in the courtroom, like you're just like, wow, these guys are like the all stars. They're amazing. I saw Nicole Westmoreland in the cafeteria the other day. We were lining up for food together. I was right beside her, like this close. Like so, we had a private conversation. The only reason why I say that's because we had a private conversation, and I said to her, you know, me and my team, the team that does this YouTube stuff, the team that makes all the thumbnails and creates the titles for these videos, and is putting these comments up on the screen. I said to her, me and my team were arguing and saying like, you know, is Annalise Keating from How to Get Away with Murder, is her character, is it based off of you? Because if you know anything about Nicole Westmoreland, she's been a lawyer way before even How to Get Away with Murder was even a thing. I always say like, and shout out to Shonda Rhimes. What an amazing writer that woman is. But I digress. I always say like I feel like Annalise Keating's character was made off of who you are in real life, because she is that amazing. I also had an argument with my chat the other day saying that Xavier Donaldson, which is the tall black attorney that Puff has, that he is not qualified and this and that. And I had to tell them, go and look him up. And when I did my own research, you're talking about 25 years of practicing law in the Southern District of New York. This guy is highly decorated, and I saw him as well, getting coffee with Sean G. Actually, so shout out to Sean G. I saw him and getting coffee with Sean G, and he was like, "Man, stop doing research on me. You're making me old. You're making me feel old." So I have had communication with them. It's just that I'm not I don't know. Send this to Puffy's kids or something like that, guys, because who am I to go and tell them what to do? They're obviously doing a great job. I also saw Shapiro coming out of the elevator the other day, Alexandra Shapiro, and she said the same thing to her. So guys, if you guys have any connections, send this stuff to them so they can, maybe use some of our points. Because what I told them when I met with them, I didn't meet with them. I just came across them. They were all in a meeting, and I kind of crashed the meeting. But what I told them when I had that conversation is I said, you need somebody like me on your team, because I think the way the jury thinks, and I can spit things in a factual way, in a simple way that we can all understand. And you guys are, saying things because you guys are lawyers, and you have been practicing for 20, 30, even 40 years. You guys don't. You're maybe a little bit far removed from what the everyday man has, the way that we understand. And when I said that, I think it was either Agnifilo or Brian Steele said, I think it was Agnifilo. He's like, we were just talking about that. He was being sarcastic. He was like, we were just talking about that. We were just talking about needing somebody like you. So he was being kind of sarcastic, but it's true. A lot of the everyday person, we need to talk about it in our everyday conversation, not in the all like the complexities of what this all means. We need to be able to break it down simply. China G says Jay was the audio with Cassie heard in court. The audio with her, China G, just let me know what specific audio you're talking about.
I think it's the audio with her and the escort.
It wasn't with, okay, so just to confirm with you guys, it wasn't an escort that she sent that death threat audio to. It was a voice note, and it was played in court, yes. But it wasn't an escort. It was a guy that she met that knew an escort, and he didn't even have the video. He said, I saw a video of you. So I guess the escort showed his friends, and that was one of the friends. And then they shared that video around in their group chat or whatever. And then he said, hey, I saw this video. And she said, what video? And then she went and told Puff. And Puff said, we got to go and get this video because I don't want your video out there. So that's how that worked. Um, could we get to any more videos? Sorry, any more comments before we jump back into examining this video? Because we want to examine this video. We're trying to get to the bottom of this. As it touches peep game, she sneak out the room because you put the shoes in the bag. So excuse me. So no sound. Could be. Like, we don't know what happened, and somebody, a shout out to the person that said it earlier in the chat. I forgot who it was, but I think it was a gentleman. um he said Jules is going to blow this thing wide open if the defense puts him on the stand. And think about it, guys. um Nobody has ever been on the stand. No escort, no nothing has been on the stand saying she was trying to escape. If there was anybody with this video, it would be Jules. And that's why I think if this is a hung jury, or if this is a mistrial, they can't use this video again. They finessed the video into the trial because they only showed the one angle. I'm going to read this real quick, and I want you guys to see what angle they showed. The way that they spit it, the sneaky ass prosecution in this trial, what they did. JL says, I think the freak off it was over already. You're right, JL. Yes, it was over already. And then she was leaving. Or it could have been between sessions because some of these freak offs are between sessions. Okay. So JL says, I think the freak off was over already and the escort was no longer. No, no, no. The escort was there because when Israel testified, and I think it was the first week or second week of the trial, Israel testified to saying he went into the room and he still saw a man there. And that man would have been Jules because Jules was the one they called that night. Based on the text messages that we read, it was Jules that was called from Cowboys and Angels that was sent that night. So the escort was there still in the room. So if there's anybody that knows what happened, it's him, Cassie, and Puff. Those would only be the three people that knew what happened. They never asked Cassie what happened. And why do you think that the prosecution never asked her? Because they know what happened. They asked her already. Well, we weren't looking. Well, the jury wasn't looking. Well, she wasn't on the stand. And so if she told them already what happened and she was trying to escape a freak off, then they would have asked her on the stand. They said, "Why did you leave?" She said, "We basically got into an argument. It got violent, and he punched me in the head, and so I left." So, and then we know based on the events that happened before that what those arguments would have been about, her blocking his entire team. Mia testified to Cassie blocked his entire team, and then Puff called Mia because Mia and Cassie were best friends, and Mia was also Puff's assistant that he sent out there to be Cassie's assistant in South Africa during that movie. Then we had the Dante Nash. I forgot what his name is, but Deontay. I think it's Deontay Nash. He also testified to setting up Cassie and Michael B. Jordan, who were out there in South Africa doing the video together. And Cassie also testified to blocking Puff and his entire team because she's seen him with Gina on Instagram. Now we take that incident and then we match that up to the dates of her movie premiere when she got back from South Africa, and her movie premiere was the day after this entire thing. Then we know what Jules was there based on the text messages and who they called to go into the room that day as an escort. Then we got the movie premiere that was the next day from that. Then we have 5 days with no text messages between them that the prosecution, I don't know, they just decided not to pull those text messages and put them into evidence. And so we have 5 days of missing text messages. And then on the fifth day, we have her saying, when you get drunk or when you get high that day, when you have bad drugs or when you drink too much, you treat me like a rag doll, and and there's nothing good that comes from our free costs nowadays. And you have the defense in their opening statements saying we expect Cassie to testify that that day he had bad drugs. So we're putting all of these things together and we're understanding this was all a bad toxic relationship, not somebody trying to escape from a freak off and being dragged back into the room. Okay. DS says he missed the kick. It doesn't look that bad. It appears that DV is okay. I mean, DV is not okay and never okay. I don't want to say that. DV is never okay. Remember, I say nobody's above an ass whooping. It's just that you're not the one to do it. And everybody on here, please do not put your hands on nobody. Okay. Do not put your hands on anybody. I encourage you. I've had assault charges, and and this was years ago. It's like 2018, 2019, and it hung over my head for so long for no reason. It was road rage nonsense, and it hung over my head for so long. I beat it in court, and I represent myself, by the way. But my point is, it just hangs over your head it's not worth it, guys. We don't want to do anything like that. We don't want to do anything like this. Let the rest of the world take care of them. You are too important. You have people counting on you. You have a life to live. You have a job to go back to. You have things that you have opportunities that you want to take advantage of. If that person deserves a punch in the face, that's not you to punch them in the face. I just want to make that clear to everybody. All right? Whether you're drunk, high, whatever it might be, angry, there's no excuse. There's absolutely zero excuse. I come from generation upon generation of domestic violence. I do not know of a generation of domestic violence that has ever existed in my family ever. And it has kind of messed up a lot of our a lot of us, and it creates mental health issues and disorders. All right, guys. So please, none of that. Um, it did seem like he missed a kick, but when I look at the video in slow motion, I could kind of see her body shake a little, like her legs shake a little bit. So it seems like he kind of like grazed the kick. I mean, remember, he's in his socks. So he's not trying to kick with his toes and break one of his toes. He's not in his shoes. So it seemed like he was trying to kick with the bottom of his foot a little bit, and he kind of missed it. And then he turns around to go and grab the bags, and then he was kind of pissed that he missed the first one. So he gave the stomp, the Kirk Franklin stomp. If you guys know Kirk Franklin stomp, he gave the Kirk Franklin stomp when he was going by the second time because he missed the first time, and he really wanted to do a stomp. So that's what it looked like. But again, we're just trying to analyze the video, guys. We're not trying to say that any of this was okay. Rock, how do you know he never trafficked her? We don't need to know that. Deborah Kim, it's a great question, but we don't need to know that. It's not our job to prove that he didn't. It's the prosecution's job to prove that he did, and they haven't proven that. It's in the media, it's like it's guilty until proven innocent. But in the court of law, it's innocent until proven guilty. So you're presumed guilty, sorry, presumed innocent, right? You're presumed innocent, and then it's the prosecution's job to say this was an instance in which this person was trafficked beyond a reasonable doubt. And that is the prosecution's job. It's not our job to say, well, I saw this Illuminati video on YouTube, and I definitely know that, he was, messing with Justin Bieber or something like that. Right? Like that, it's not our job to say that and then say, yeah, this definitely happened. I had somebody in the comments saying, but what about Biggie and Pac? What about them? That has nothing to do with this trial. And for you guys, I think I'm caping for Puff. This is bigger than Puff. I'm caping for justice. I'm trying to say that you can't just be upset with somebody or want to get somebody and then try to make any charge stick to them. Because then it could happen to you. If it could happen to one of the richest black men in America, it can happen to you too. And that's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. You guys should be as passionate about this as I am. This has nothing to do with um with what you guys are talking about. This has to do with making sure that the government can't use the legal system, which is also known as the justice system, to just pin charges on somebody and make them fit and make them stick somehow because they want to get you. Because if they could do that to you, sorry, him, they could do that to you too. And that is the thing that I'm passionate about. That is it. It has nothing to do with what a lot of other people are talking about. I had my cousin tell me, is this a hill you want to die on? What the hell are you talking about? What do you mean the hill I want to die on? I just don't want people to be uh, confused by what they're seeing in the media. I want them to go and do their own research and listen to the facts and come up with their own results. And I don't want the justice system to weaponize it because there's a certain type of person or there's a certain person that they don't like. And if you are, I mean, if you come from where I come from and you look like I look, you know what I'm talking about because we've been victims of it far too long. And it just keeps happening and happening. And then when I can see that they could even do it to the most powerful one of the most powerful ones in New York or in the country, it makes me feel really insecure going and walking outside the door. Like, what else can they just put on us? What else can they just put on us to try to make charges stick? This is not the right thing, guys. You think you're fighting for the right thing, but you're not fighting for the right thing. If you don't care how justice how people come to justice, you just want this person to go to jail. That's not fighting for the right thing. Fighting for the right thing is trying to fight for the legal system to work, not for the guy that you don't like to lose. And I'm going to repeat that one more time. I know Robin is on the board. Fighting for the right thing is not fighting for the guy, is not fighting for the guy that you don't like to lose. Like, you guys are rooting against the villain. This is not a superhero movie. This is not a Marvel movie. You're trying to root against the guy that you don't like. That's not what this is about. Because the justice system is what is being used to take out the guy that you don't like. And if that justice system is weaponized in the incorrect way, then it can be weaponized in any way, for anyone. And so the next time that cop pulls you over and says, "I smell alcohol in your breath," when you didn't drink at all, but wants to get you because they didn't like your attitude or the way you looked or what you were driving, and they bring that to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor can use any kind of technicality because they don't want to be wrong, and they want to be right, and they have a quota to hit, and they're trying to advance in their career to get X amount of convictions. Like, you guys don't understand, this is bigger than Puff. This is way bigger than that. And they're fooling you guys in the news to villainize a person so you guys can have mob mentality. So you guys can go out and be like, throw him under the jail. I hate him. Woman beater. All this stuff. What is worse? They throw kids in there. They throw everything in there. Yeah, get him out of here. Who cares how you get him out of here? But the same way sets the precedent for how they're going to get you out of there. So what you going to do then? And maybe it might not be you, but what about your son? What about your daughter? What about your niece? What about your nephew? My youngest brother is 18. I don't want my youngest brother to be worried when he goes to drive down the block, because just in case he doesn't talk the right way, or because he might the cop might seem he's disrespectful, or because the car he drives is too nice for an 18-year-old, or because whatever it is, because the girl that he has in the seat is a beautiful woman, because whatever. And now they're like, you know what? I'm gonna get this guy. And they're gonna go and give that to the prosecutor, and the prosecutor's like, "Hey, I'm trying to get up, and I need to win some cases. I need to get some convictions. So you know what? We're gonna make anything stick to this guy." It happens every single day in America, in many countries, as a matter of fact. It happens all the time, and y'all are caping for that. Y'all are the ones. You saying I'm caping for Puff, and you guys are the ones that are literally destroying your own self, destroying your own opportunities, your own community, the own people that you say you love. You don't care how the law is used. All you care is if we could get somebody on technicalities. We don't like them, we'll get them. And for the rest of y'all that also do this and try to do this, you guys are caping for your own pockets. Well, I know my audience wants to hear that this guy is bad and he's going to be going to jail. So I'm going to just cover bad, go to jail, bad, go to jail. Let me tell you why he's going to go to under the jail. Let me put my video up about telling you why he's the worst thing to happen to mankind. And they lost every day. They lose in their trial. The defense lost another day. The defense lost another day, because they know that's what their audience wants to hear. I'm the only one here spitting facts. I'm the only, well, not the only one, but there's only a few of us. There's only a few of us that are actually spitting facts. There are only a few of us that are like, you know what? I see what's really going on. And it's bigger than Puff. And there's two big things here. We don't want to set the precedent that you could use the law to take out anybody you don't like. And number two, we want to set the precedent that we don't follow mainstream media just because that's what we're told. We don't follow these algorithms just because this is what came up in our, oh wow, this happened. Oh, the baby oil was laced with drugs. Oh, blah blah blah. Oh, I took a drink and then I woke up and there are five guys on top of me. Oh, next swipe, next swipe, next swipe. So the algorithm just gonna fry your brain. We don't stand for that. We're a leadership channel. We don't stand for that. We don't stand for mainstream media telling us what to think. We think for ourselves. We don't stand for these algorithms trying to teach us how we should think and our own values. We have that for ourselves. We create that for ourselves. And that's what you guys don't get. You guys think I'm here caping for oh well, you must be a black man and that's the reason why. That's not why. You guys don't get it. If you're on here and you're hating on me, look in the mirror and check yourself, because you're about to wreck your own community. You're about to wreck your own people. Deborah Kim says, now Diddy getting off, gon' help us with the cops. You can't be serious. Gosh, you ain't listening. Log off when you're ready. Log off when you're ready. You ain't listening. I'm speaking past you. I'm speaking past you. I'm speaking past you. Who else we got? I'm speaking past you. QP, 100% of everyone wanting Diddy convicted are women and gay men who was triggered by that domestic violence. I have nothing against a gay person. I'm speaking in general on this issue here. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There are certain demographics that judge some of these things a little bit different than others. Maybe women is one of them, and maybe it's triggering to some people like that, right? Um, some people have seen their mother get into domestic violence and get seen their mother get beaten, or their sister, or something like that, and they're more likely to have a heart for that. But again, that's fine and everything, but we can't try to make charges fit just because we don't like the domestic violence when that wasn't one of the charges. Okay. Like that person that just like I was speaking past just now. I don't remember the person's name, but it's like those people, like, I can't talk to you. You're not my audience. You have what you think, and you can stay right there. We'll continue to move up. We'll continue to move forward. You can stay exactly where you at, because that's all you get. Uta Ongo says, salute Khan. Happy Juneteenth to you too, brother. Peace to the chat. I appreciate that, guys. And again, I haven't been looking in the chat, but we shouldn't be arguing in this chat. We shouldn't be arguing on Juneteenth. I know a lot of our chat look alike, and we shouldn't be arguing on this. I just want people to be very, very aware of what is happening in and around us. Okay. Um, you want a domestic violence person to go to jail, but at what cost? At what cost to you? At what cost to the people around us? At what cost to the precedent? Okay. They're meeting with witness 28 times. Yes, 27, 28, 24. There's 20 plus times they're meeting with witnesses to get their story right. I'm proud of KK and D-Rock for not buying into their BS. Yo, KK is exactly, and I heard people say like, oh, KK is just a white woman and whatever. Listen, KK is a ride or die, because she is one of the only people around him, and that's why she was his chief of staff, that said, this is wrong, and I don't care if I'm going to go down with it. I'm going to stand for something, because if I don't stand for something, I'll fall for anything. They couldn't get KK on the stand. The prosecution couldn't get KK on the stand. They offered everybody immunity. You think they didn't offer her immunity? They offered everybody immunity. So call her a white woman or what you want to call her, but if she don't look like you, so what? She might be realer than you. She might be realer than you. When is the last day of the trial? They're trying to wrap up the trial by the 4th of July. So that would be, I think the 4th of July is a Thursday, or a Friday. So they're trying to wrap it up by the Wednesday or the Thursday. Now the um, that's just the testimony. After that, the jurors are going to have to deliberate and decide what he's guilty of and what he's not guilty of. And I heard that the judges, I don't know if this is true, but I heard that the judges um jury instructions are like 130 something pages already, and could even be longer. And so if it's like 130, even 170, 200 pages, remember the jury has to go through all that so they can understand it. in my estimation, that's going to take like a day, 2 days. Some of these statutes that we put up here and we do the research for these videos takes like an hour, takes like 2 hours. And if they're going through everything with the judge's instructions, and then they have to go and say, okay, can you send me this particular part of the transcript? Can you send me this particular person's testimony, X, Y, and Z? It could be 3, 4, 5 days of deliberation. So we actually really don't know, and you're going to have to be on edge, because a lot of people are going to go back to, I know a lot of people are from Houston or California or Atlanta or Virginia, or like a lot of people covering the trial. I don't know if they're going to be able to go back home, because they're going to be, it's just like out of nowhere that the jury is going to say, yeah, we got a verdict, and then you're going to have to be called back to court. So I don't know if those people are going to stay and be able to cover it, or I don't know if they're going to be able to get back to New York on time. So God bless the people like myself that live in New York. We're going to be here, and even myself, I don't know if the jury says I'm back and it's 2 hours. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to the courtroom and cancel appointments on time. If you guys are one of my clients on this chat right now, you guys know how it's hard to get an appointment with me right now. We got like 2 weeks out to get one appointment with me. Um, Ian gonna Ian gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real, Jay. I fell victim to it too. I don't know who Ian is, so but when I first seen that video, I said lock that guy up until the trial cam about and the facts came out. Mainstream got me too. Yeah, they got me, man. QP, they got me 100%. And I also do want to explain to you guys what what I wanted to do a second ago. Can you put that video back on, because I got sidetracked? Can you put that video back on real quick again, guys? If this is triggering to you, just don't look, but you could still listen. I'm going to show you guys the original video that we originally saw, and that the way that the video was cut to make it look like it was S trafficking. And this is the reason why I don't think this video will be able to be used again if there's a mistrial or if there's a hung jury. Not this angle. The angle, yeah, you could start it from here. Just fast forward a little bit. Just start it from, yeah, start it from when he starts running down the hall, please. Yeah, she's there. Then you skip over, skip, 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 skip. Skip even over the violence. We don't want to trigger people more than we have to. Okay, stop, stop. No, no. Back, back, back. Okay, right there. Stop. No, back. Right there. Stop. That's the video that was released to the public, not the other angle in which you can see him drop her and like stop dragging her. It was just that. So the headline, put me on the screen, please. The headline was drags her back to the room as she's trying to escape a freak off. Put the video back on the screen, please. That's what you guys saw. That's where it ended originally. So they plant this story and they plant this narrative, and the prosecution cleverly only gives the grand jury. And for those of you guys who don't understand what a grand jury is, that's the evidence that you have to give, part of the evidence that you have to give for them to even indict you in the first place and say, yes, these charges are going to go through and then we're going to charge you, right? A grand jury has to charge you. This is all they gave. Then they went to the judge. Judge, we need this video, Judge. We need this video. It shows that he's kidnapping her. It shows that he is S trafficking her. And she testified in front of a grand jury that she was trying to leave an FO, a freak off. It shows it, Judge. We need this video, Judge. We need it, because this is it. So the judge says, okay. The judge denied bail based on this video. The judge denied bail. He referenced this video when he denied Puff bail twice, because that's all that was shown. And the headlines say, try to escape, brought her, dragged her back to the room. Then when we get into trial, show us what happens when we get into trial. Just keep playing it. And that's as far as he drug her. And she cusses him out. And give me that shot again when they have their backs to each other. Okay, stop. If they played the entire thing, you cannot say trying to drag back to the room. You cannot use kidnapping. You cannot use trying to escape a freak off. And the defense would be able to say he wanted the bag, he got the bag. And then he left with the bag and he left her because she took his clothes in the bag, which is the reason why they said that in the first place. That he was in a towel because she took his clothes in the bag because they got into an argument because he was cheating on her with Gina and she was cheating on him with Michael B. Jordan. But nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to hear the salacious stuff. And if you had seen the rest of this video, look. But this doesn't make for good headlines. This is all nonsense. She walks her way, he walks his way. Back to the room. Actually, watch. He comes back and he says, "I forgot to get the phone that the defense said was she hit him with." This is not the same. This is just an overlap. Obviously, she wasn't there yet. You'll see him come back, be like, "Wait a minute, let me get that phone too." She gets up as he's walking. Pause it for a second, just so you guys understand. He's still walking to the room at this time, right? When you saw him turn back, this is at the same time as she's leaving. She's walking away. So the two angles overlapped. So it's not one angle after the next. The two angles are overlapping in real time. But go ahead. This person who's trying to escape a freak off was in the hallway by herself, and she's kidnapped, right? He comes back and he starts talking shit to her. Keep playing it. He starts talking shit to her. She's talking back to him, and then he leaves again. And what did she do? She has time to put on lip gloss. This is the kidnapping victim. This is the person, the S trafficked victim. She had time to put on lip gloss. He goes towards the room again. He wanted to say one more thing to her and another thing, X, Y, and Z. And he goes and takes his bag and takes it and goes back to the to the thing. And then he comes back later and gets his phone. That wasn't a part of the video. If we saw all this, this would never have gone to a grand jury. Never. But the prosecution sneaky. The prosecution was sneaky with it. The prosecution only showed until he's turning the corner. Stop. We're only going to show that part. Put the headline out there. Get the jury to think X, Y, and Z before they even get in here. Kidnapping. S trafficking. Great headline. DV? No. But then we have to see the full video when we get in. So they then had to release the full video. But it's too late. They already got this video in there. So I know the judge feels tricked because the judge let it in based on what the prosecution said. But the judge feels tricked. And this is either, if there's a mistrial or a hung jury, they're going to they're not going to be able to put this video, in my estimation, they're not going to be able to use this video again because of the reasons why they said they needed it in the first place. Meanwhile, they just wanted to use it to prejudice the media and the jury and try to pull on heartstrings and emotions for people who have been victims of domestic violence or have seen domestic violence. That's all they really wanted. And then if he does get found guilty, I believe that there's going to be a great reason for an appeal because the video was used to find him guilty in the first place, and the video should have never been included. But because they only showed a portion of the video, which makes it look like what they wanted it to look like, even though they had the whole video, they only cut it to that portion to trick y'all. And I can admit, I felt duped. You guys will go watch my Sean G video, podcast with Soul video. I said I feel like I was duped. I was tricked. I can admit it, but why can't you guys just admit it? Not the people who are in the chat supporting, but the people who want to talk nonsense to me. Why don't you just admit it? Road Dog says, I just want to know where a drug dealer gets immunity to testify against a user. Oh boy. Road Dog, this is part of what we're talking about here. Everybody, like, it's just let's just try to make things stick with this guy. Let's just try to make things like, pop, 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 pop. And you know what? We'll just force these charges in no matter what. Everybody gets immunity. One person in a RICO, no co-conspirators. If they are, we don't even know who they are. They're all just getting immunity. Everybody gets, we just want to get this guy. Guys, go and watch my other videos. I break down bribery. I break down kidnapping. I break down extortion. I break down drug trafficking. I break down all of these RICO predicates. I break down the Mann Act. I break down all of these RICO predicates so you guys can understand that we are just being duped over here, and nobody wants to just admit that they didn't realize that they were being tricked. Guys, if you could admit it, it's your first step towards not being tricked. JL, another scary part is having a biased judge that can aid in putting you away for a crime you didn't commit. This is very true. But JL, I will say, this particular judge, I don't believe this particular judge is unfair. I think this judge is fair. He has been fair, calling it straight down the middle. Um, and I also think that because the judge is in his 40s, so that's pretty young to be a judge. And it seems like he also wants to make sure that this is his first big profile case or whatever. He wants to make sure he's building a good reputation for himself. So I think he's very careful in making sure he's being fair. But you're absolutely right, because a lot of us do have judges that are biased. I've been blessed in my own cases to have judges that have been very fair to me. And I remember the second or third case I won, again against lawyers, because everybody says, "Oh, you're not a lawyer, so what the hell do you know?" But the second or third case I won against a lawyer, the judge actually called me aside after and said, like, "I'm very impressed. Like, it was very impressive to see how much research you did." And I'm not saying that to toot my own horn. I'm trying to explain to you guys. He said how much research you did. That's all you guys got to do. You just got to research it. Like I always say, the law isn't in some secret book hidden on the top of a secret mountain, and you can only read the book and hike the mountain if you have a law degree, and that's the only way that you're able to read the law, right? This is not the Ten Commandments, where only Moses can hike up the Mount Zion and get the Ten Commandments or whatever, and bring it down for everybody. That's not the law. You can just Google it. You could ask ChatGPT. You can go on Cornell Law Institute. You can Google case law. You can go and check precedent from other cases. You could do your own research. You don't. It's not hidden from us, guys. It's not hidden from us. Um, Mark Jag says them denying him bail twice is a travesty when he has 7 kids and is seemingly a good father. Well, not only that, but he gave the passports of his 7 kids into the his lawyer to submit to the judge or to the courts, including his passport. So he got a person to purchase his plane. He put his house, his $50 million house, up for bail, which is a $50 million bill. Um, like I said, he collected all of his family's passports, his mother, his children, all of them, including his own, submitted those. And he also, there was one more thing that he did, which was very interesting. I thought after all that, he would definitely get bail, but he didn't. I don't, I really don't know why. There wasn't as much of a reason why he didn't get bail. It was surprising to me. I can't be on board with you by saying it's a travesty, because maybe there were some things that I don't understand or some things that I don't know, but I was shocked. For all the things that he offered in that bail package, I was actually shocked based on my own knowledge and how this stuff works. I've seen people get bail for a lot less things, but these are serious charges, and he is a powerful person. So you know, um, it was shocking to me. These women are making real victims look. Yeah, that's one of the things I'm saying. Like, real trafficking victims. This is, to me, so far, based on what I've seen, this is an insult. This whole case is an insult to real trafficking victims, and all those people who come on to the chat and be like, "Oh wow, what are you caping for this guy for?" Blah 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 blah. Why don't you go talk to a real trafficking victim and tell me that is this? Tell me that is this, because there are real S trafficking victims, human trafficking. One of my great clients, I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants to be shouted out, but she runs a whole human trafficking division in her company, and I hear the horror stories. That is not this. These are groupies that loved the lifestyle, so they didn't leave, and one of the two of them was subject to domestic violence. That's what we have here. Y'all are too blinded by 20 million to see that is so much bigger than Cassie. Cassie could not take down Sean Combs. Big money and power took him down. Cassie is just their witness. No, no, nobody said that Cassie took down Sean Combs. No, she didn't. This is I don't want to get into conspiracy theories or anything like that. I will tell you guys that Diageo was mentioned in the trial. Um, and I could see that the defense's angle in the questioning was to talk about his lawsuit with Diageo. And they talked about how Diageo only wanted to market the Ciroc vodka to urban communities. And this all had to do with a race thing. And Puff did sue Diageo, and then mentioned in his lawsuit that this was all about race, and that that brand was racist. And then you turn around two twos and this video comes out, and then he gets indicted less than a months later. So people are putting two and two together, and the defense did bring that up, or attempt to bring that up, because that line of questioning was quickly changed by the judge, but it was mentioned in the court. I don't know. I don't know about witch hunt. I don't know about Diageo. I don't know about who's who. I don't know about any of that. All I know is I just don't want the law to be used as a weapon to get somebody, no matter how powerful they are, to get somebody that you want to get. And we're just going to weaponize the law and just stretch it to make it fit whatever we want, because that's not right. That's not what the law is made for. The law is made so that all of us can be protected from these specific acts, not so that you can just use it to get whoever you want. I really have a problem with that. Ravens fan 22. Why does Judge act like he hates Diddy so much? I wouldn't say that. Maybe in the transcripts it seems like that, but to me, that judge is really fair. Really fair. He did, even the time when he talked about Diddy nodding vigorously to the jury and said, like, your client better not do that. He cleared the jurors. It's not like the jurors heard that. He cleared the jurors. He made it a private conversation with the parties, and obviously us, the press. But he said, it was after the jurors left, and he said, okay, so I have one more thing to say. And he didn't even stop Puff during the trial to say you're doing that. He waited till the end of the day, cleared out the jurors because he didn't want to prejudice the jurors, and he said, "All right." So I think it was Agnifilo. He said to Agnifilo, "Okay, so there is one thing about your client," and he said, "I saw him nodding vigorously to the jurors, and that can't happen." Now, my thing is, the juror, which is likely the juror that's not there anymore, anyways, because they removed juror number 6. But the juror is probably nodding to him first. You don't nod vigorously like that to somebody if they didn't already give you a nod first, right? The person would go to like, "Hmm," and then your reaction is usually, mm-hmm, right, right, exactly, right. Doesn't add up, right? So the person probably would have had to look at him and give him the nod first for him to reply. And again, I'm just thinking logically, common sense, right? We just think logically over here. We just think common sense. You don't just start looking at jurors and be like, you don't do that, right? You get something from somebody, and then you reply to that, being like, yeah, right, exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Exactly, right? That's usually how it goes. We had one before Tim, but I didn't get to. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That is the one I just answered. Sorry about that, guys. We got Tim. Thank you for breaking it down the right way. Mainstream media just want to see him locked up for life because he beat her. Did he get enough and will be home with his family where he belongs? Yeah, I mean, there's a number of reasons why I believe that mainstream media is doing the direction that they're doing, but all of the reasons are devastating. Like they're very very bad reasons. Like for example, if we go with what Tim is saying, which I believe is true for some of the mainstream media, they just want them locked up. They just don't like them, and they just want them locked up. There are other reasons, two other reasons that I've noticed. Another reason is they are playing a political stance. So they have a political view that they're trying to push, and they're using this media company to continue to push its political views. Remember, these media companies are sponsored and they have investors, and people are paying them for certain things. And so, especially, the outside of it, with it, which is politics, right? So people have different political agendas they're trying to push, and that happens too. So I believe that some of these people are in bed with certain political views, and people who are wanting them to steer things in the way of different political views. And then I think smaller media outlets like YouTubers and stuff like that, they have their own audience. Their audience tunes in to their channel every single day to say Puff is guilty. Puff is guilty, and this is why. And he's going under the jail this time. And oh, let me tell you why he just lost. I see so many channels like, let me tell you why Diddy just lost the rest of his life, and he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And let me tell you why X, Y, and Z. And but their fans will go to another channel that tells them what they want to hear if they don't tell those subscribers what they want to hear. And again, we don't have that here. I just gonna tell you guys, spit it down the middle, right? I can tell you what the facts are, and you guys can make up your own mind. But a lot of people, they get paid from YouTube. You guys know, for us, we're not even monetized yet. We just started this channel like what, 12 days ago, right? Or 14, not less than 14 days ago. I think it was like 12 days, maybe 15 days. I don't remember, but it was like the first week of June we started this channel. What are we in the third week of June? Second week of June, right? So we're in the third week of June. So we don't have that agenda, and so we can just spit it to you guys right down the middle. So it is sometimes just that they don't like Puff, but then there's also other reasons, and for whatever reason it is, it's not right. And what it does is it allows us to make it okay for the law to be used for whatever they want to use the law for, and that's not right. JL says, I have never seen an S trafficking case where the victim asked to be trafficked and set up her own trafficking events. This case is nuts and makes zero sense. Yes, absolutely. And then if you ask the people who are blinded, they're going to say to you, though, JL, yeah, you don't understand how abuse works. Okay. It's only because we don't understand, JL. It's not because we are logical thinkers or we have read about this or we are looking at the facts or anything. It's because we're too stupid and we don't understand and we don't know what it is like to be abused and to be a victim. And we're not woke. We're not woke, JL. We're not woke. We're not woke. All right. Guys, I'm going to give you guys one last. I got to go run to the restroom. I've been talking for what, 2.5 hours straight? I'll run to the restroom real quick. But in the meantime, C, can you please play that video one more time? And I'd love for you guys in the chat, tell me what you see. Tell me what you see. Keep in mind as to what, see, before you play the video, just play those other three pieces, what the defense is trying to say, what Cassie says. Just keep in mind those things and then play the video, and then we'll see what our audience thinks about this stuff. And you guys can have these discussions in the chat as well. And then by then I should be back. All right. So this is opening statements. That was opening statements right there. So let's show this. Give everybody a chance to read it real quick, and then show the next thing, and then show the video, so we all have the video in context. So here he comes running down. Let's pay close attention. She doesn't see him yet. She testified to not seeing him. She said, next thing I knew, she didn't see him. He caught her off guard. Remember, he's in his socks, right? Dude's moving sleek. Pause that real quick. They asked her in the direct examination. They said, "Why were you just laying there still?" And she said, "Because I thought it was safer rather than getting up and fighting back." And Lisa R, if you're still in the chat, I apologize for being aggressive with you earlier, especially if you're a female. I didn't want to do that. But as a victim of abuse myself, that happened to me. Um, I remember I got punched in the face, fell down, and I stood up. I was about maybe 14 years old. Stood up, like, and I got punched in the face again, and I stood up, fists like, and I got punched in the face again, and then knocked down and stood up. By this time, my face is bleeding, and this is by a grown man, and this man said to me, "When I knock you down, don't stand up like a soldier. Stay down." So you'll understand when you're standing up to your abuser takes it up a next notch and a next level and a next notch. And as much as you want to fight back a lot of the times, if you fought back enough times, you realize it's not worth it. Just stay down, yes? Just stay down. It'll be safer than to try to get up or whatever. That's why you kind of, as he lets her go and he's walking away. That's why you see her like, what's wrong with you? But he's already walking away. The threat is already going away from you. So for people that tell me that I don't understand what it's like to be an abuse victim, I do understand. But that's the problem. I do understand. So I know what this is. I know that this is not somebody that's being S trafficked. This is a domestic violence situation. And as bad as that is, that's not what this guy is charged for. Continue, please. So she just stays down. She knows. And then he drags her. And that's where it usually cuts off. But really, as he drags her, he lets her go right there and he walks away. And then she says something to him right there. I know you can't find the angle C, but she says something to him right there. I saw the angle in court. And then she walks her way, he walks his way. He walks back. And if he really wanted her back in the room to kidnap her or to get her back in the freak off, when he walks back, no, keep going, keep going. When he walks back, why doesn't he grab her or tell her get back in the room or anything like that? As he's walking to the room, remember this is the two angles are playing in real time. She goes and gets the phone. And then he comes back and he talks nonsense. Now here, stop it there real quick. Here I was wondering if he was going to do something more to her here. But then when he realized she was on the phone, he didn't want to, get other people involved because she might say, "Oh, help, help, he's here now." So I wonder if she was on the phone and then he was like, "All right, I'm gonna chill," because now she's calling people and he doesn't want her to call the cops or whatever. So I wonder if he was planning to do something and then he stopped when he saw her on the phone and then said, "You know what, forget it, I'm not going to do anything. Continue playing." That was just a thought that went to my mind. He decides, I got what I need. I'm leaving. And then she puts on lip gloss. Who the hell puts on lip gloss in the middle of a kidnapping? And back it up. When he does leave, as you see in the other angle, he starts talking nonsense to her still. They're in a fight. I think there was a person by the name of G that was on here and said this is clearly a toxic relationship. They're in a fight. And then he goes around the corner to their suite and he brings the bags there. And then he's also not done because he drops the bags off and he comes back huffing and puffing just to argue with her more. He doesn't touch her, but just to argue with her more. But look, stop, stop. Guys, he's going to go out of the frame of the screen, but look at the mirror behind him. And then you'll be able to see in the mirror behind him what he actually does, because it looks like he actually hits her, but you can't see because it's out of the frame, but you could see in the reflection of the mirror behind him. And look at and remember when you guys saw him throw the vase or whatever at her? That it was actually the angle that was shown was the actual reflection. That was the mirror behind him. Wasn't actually him itself. It was the mirror behind him. So go play. Hey, sorry, pause. Sorry, pause. And when you guys saw the video on CNN, you seen him drag her, and you seen when he was going to drag her across the corner. The video stopped. No, you don't have to back up. The video stopped, and then it skipped to him throwing a vase at her. So everything is just skipping around. It's not actually showing what's really going on. But when we got to court, we saw what was really going on. Okay, play. So in the mirror behind him, you'll see he grabs her phone. Give me that damn phone. Where's the phone? And did you pause it? Oh no, he grabs it and he walks away with the phone. That is what his defense team was saying, was that she had his phone. And that if we hear from Jules next week, because Jules is still in the room at all now, which is the escort that was in the room with them. Jules did not he did not testify for the prosecution. He's testifying, if he does, is going to be for the defense. So he might have went back to the room, dropped the bags, and said, "Where's my phone?" And then Jules might have said, "Oh, she took the phone." And then he came back out huffing and puffing and then grabbed the phone too. Because maybe he didn't know until he went back to the room. Now, I'm not caping for anybody. I'm just looking at this video trying to understand what the hell is going on, because clearly it's not him trying to drag her back into a freak off the way you guys have been told on the news. Clearly, he went and got the bags after assaulting her, took the bags, cussed her out on the way, and took the bags, and then dropped the bags, and then clearly realized that he didn't have the phone, whether it's his phone or her phone. Realized I don't have the phone, went and grabbed the phone, and then took the phone. And then look what he does. He comes back and he's still talking shit to her. Then he sits down and then he throws that at her. It missed. She testified that it missed, but he throws that at her. Guys, stop. Me personally, I thought that this whole entire thing was happening and they had booked out the whole floor, because my stepfather used to work for Four Seasons Hotel, and he used to tell me like Mariah Carey would come in and into the hotel and she'd book the whole floor because she wants her own floor. She has her makeup people, her this people, that people, whatever. I thought he booked the whole floor, but they just had a room, and there were other people that were coming out of the room. And that's the reason why Israel, if you actually went to the end of this video, you'll see the security guy came up. I thought the security guy came up because she called the security guy, but actually the security guy came up because rewind a little bit. The security guy came up because of other guests calling and saying there's a commotion outside. So this guy clearly doesn't give a damn. He is so in his feelings, throwing such a huge tantrum that he doesn't even care that the other people on the floor are hearing this commotion, him breaking a vase, throwing stuff, yelling. You don't do that when you're trying to kidnap somebody. You don't do that when you're trying to get them back in the room for S trafficking freak off, right? And play it again real quick. You'll see he walks past her. He throws the vase or the flowers or whatever. He walks past her, and then he turns over his shoulder and says something else to her. Right there. Right there. Pause it. If you've ever been pissed off at somebody and walked away from them, but you've been pissed off at somebody, you did the same exact thing. You're walking away, but you have one more thing to say. You turn around and you say one more thing to them. This is a fight between a couple. Continue playing. And then he turns around, he says some more stuff. Then he walks away. And the interesting thing is, and look at it, one more. And he keeps going. Keep going. He keeps going. Keep playing. It's good. Yeah. And she's looking at him like, you crazy. What is wrong with you? You psycho. And he's still yelling at her. They're still talking. And then she says, stop, 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 because she sees him coming. Leave me alone. Don't touch me. He sits down beside her because she's afraid. And then he looks at his hand. This is the Israel guy that comes up. He looks at his hand. He might have cut it on something. And this is the Israel guy that comes up and says, hey, calm down. We're hearing from other guests that there's commotion. I came in, go to your room. He testified saying, I tried to diffuse the situation and tell him, go to your room, go to the room. This is not the guy that got paid off. This is the guy that he originally offered money to, but rejected the money. He's a security guy. He originally offered the money to, according to what the guy said. He rejected the money. And this guy never got any money. And now he's a LAPD officer. Right? So what we're seeing here is a really bad, bad, bad incident. What we're not seeing here is kidnapping. And what we're not seeing here is trafficking. He said he convinced him to go back to the room, cool out, relax, so on and so forth. What is he so angry about? What is he so angry about? I wonder. Now, go to that text message, please. The next one. This is the text message. This is all we have because the defense never, they had the prosecution had 5 days with no text messages. So go to that one. Not this. This is not a text message. This right here. This is a text message. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. What I have written in my notes is very similar to this because that wasn't the whole text message. In my notes, it says, this is March 10th. Puff texts her, okay? Puff texts her March 10th, 5 days after, saying, baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. Put me on the screen. Put me on the screen. Puff says right here, guys. Baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. Right here. March 10th, 5 days after LA InterContinental. Baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. Okay. She replies, and that there was clearly messages in between that. It's just that the for those 5 days they didn't retrieve any of the messages from the phones that they seized. Why? Because it probably didn't corroborate their story, right? Um, baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. Cassie says, I still have crazy bruising from Friday. How do I know you won't have a bad batch of drugs or won't drink too much? So he was probably saying, hey, let's hang out or let's do another freak off or whatever. And then she said no. And then she said, no, I don't want to, or something like that. This is my guess. This is my guess. She said no, or something like that. And then they're going back and forth. And then he ends up saying, baby, I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. And then her response is, I still have crazy bruising from Friday. How do I know you won't have another bad batch of drugs or won't drink too much when you get effed up? Um, no, or won't drink too much, period. And then she goes, when you get effed up, you want to show me who is in charge and treat me like I'm a rag doll. I'm somebody's daughter. This is what it says. See, that's it right here. Another bad batch of drugs. See that right there? I'm making this up. Another bad batch of drugs or won't drink too much. And then she says, when you get effed up, right? You want to show me who is in charge and treat me like I'm a rag doll. So that was from my notes from the trial. Okay. And then you put that text message back up on the screen, please. Pretty close to my notes. These are the actual, this is the actual text message. In the meantime, Ra Ra Alexander says, all this time the elevator never came. Yeah, that's a good that made me laugh. That's a good one. Yeah, apparently not. Right here. Text message. When you get effed up the wrong way, that's what I said effed up, but I missed the wrong way. I'm writing down as fast as I can in my notes, guys. When you get effed up the wrong way, you always want to show me that you have the power and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. I'm someone's child. So I was slightly different. My notes said, um, when you get effed up, you want to show me who's in charge. And she says, you always want to show me that you have the power. I put, you want to show me who's in charge, and treat me like I'm a rag doll. And she says, and you knock me around. I'm not a rag doll. And I put, I'm someone's daughter. And she put, I'm someone's child. So it's very similar to what, like, but I'm writing as fast as I can. And they show these things, they say it, they read the text message so quickly that you don't get a chance. But more or less, I'm getting the same exact thing that was the text message. That's what I'm writing down. Guys, nothing to do with, I told you I didn't want to F this dude. I told you I didn't want to do a freak off tonight. I told you I wanted to leave. You dragged me back to the room. You wouldn't let me leave. Nothing like that. Nothing. No messages like that. So guys, we're gonna end here because it's 10 to 7 here in New York, and I gotta go and get ready because I'm gonna meet my friends for the game in about an hour. Hopefully OKC wins today. Hey, fight me in the chat if you want Indiana to win, but I hope it's all done today and OKC comes out with a win, and we see Shea Gilchrist-Alexander win the NBA championship. And the NBA Finals MVP, along with the regular season MVP that he's already won. But I appreciate everybody being here. Appreciate everybody being on the chat. You guys stuck around for a good bit, and we got a new video coming out this morning at 3 a.m. We already have it scheduled, but see, can you just jump on and tell people what videos we have that they should check out? Tell them what videos we have that they should check out. I know you guys should check out the bribery video. I know you guys should check out the extortion video. I did an interview with Sean G. Check that out. I did an interview with FamerTube, which was Big Ac. I think that's Academics, DJ Academics' cousin, I think. But that's what I was told, but I don't know. I don't know. But he's great too. I did I did an interview with the Knot. So shout out the Knot. So go check out some of our stuff, guys. Check out some of our stuff. What do you think that they should check out? See?
The kidnapper, that video, who did he kidnap? That's our most recent video.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that went out this morning. Yes, that's
yeah,
right.
and then we'll have another one coming out tomorrow at 3 a.m. That's gonna be the drug trafficking. So if anybody has any questions about those or anything like that, when that video dropped, they can always drop comments in the section and share it. If Jay shares any views that you've been trying to get across with other people that just aren't understanding, you feel free to share that video with them as well. And then, like you said, there's the extortion one. That's a really big one that a lot of people have been talking about, and a lot of people have been disagreeing about as well. And then we have the statutes that we've been going through over the days, like the Mann Act, and stuff like that.
100%, 100%. Hey guys, let me just shout out a few people in the chat. I'm not reading your comments, but these are like names that I see that have been here, multiple days since we've been doing these live. Cindy Looks, Mark Jag, um, Veda, JL, who else we got here? Um, the IE Network, God's Flower, Stanford, man, Rah Rah, China G. China G is one of our day ones and says no, go Indiana. Hey, China G, hey, maybe we have to have a game 7 and we can duke it out. Maybe we have to have a game 7 and we can duke it out. But China G, shout out to China G, one of our first probably 10 to 20 subscribers. So thank you so much for that. For that love. I appreciate all you guys. Rah Rah Alexander says OKC all the way. Yeah, I hope so. I hope so, guys. I don't have a fight in the race, a dog in the fight, but I lived in Toronto for a while, and Shea Gilchrist Alexander has a lot of connections to a lot of people I know, so I cheer for him as well. Hey guys, I appreciate all of you guys being on the chat, and you need to have interviews by TMZ. Hopefully one day you guys send this stuff to anybody that you think can get me on one of these major media networks. I know a lot of them don't want me on there because they have the narrative they're trying to push, but if they want some entertainment, and then if they want somebody to be able to push back on a lot of their stuff just so that they can get more viewers, I'm their guy. I'm their guy. So I appreciate everybody on here. I gotta run, but we'll come out with more videos over the next few days. And remember, court resumes tomorrow, so I'll be back in court tomorrow at 9 a.m. So look out for those lives tomorrow, and I'll be updating you on what goes on in court tomorrow. And you're welcome, Classy. Classy's another one that has been here for a good little bit. All right. And shout out Felicia, because Felicia said bye. So bye, Felicia. 100%. Road Dog, peace out, everybody. You did well. I watched you grew to 1,000K. Did we get to 1,000K for real? Really? Wow. Well, it's only because of you guys supporting us. It's only because of you guys supporting us. We started in the first week of June and we're at 1,000K already. So it's only because of you guys supporting us. So I really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. God bless you all. Happy Juneteenth. Be safe tonight and go and be great. You guys know greatness is a choice. All right. Peace out.